Hello and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnocky, and as always, I'm here with Jess Perkins. Hello, Jess.
Hello, David.
How are you?
I wish I was never born.
Good to hear it. Well, maybe a couple of chaps that will change that tune, filling in for our main man, Matt Stewart, who is away ill this week, and he is such a powerful presence. We needed not one, but two people to replace the great man, and they are greats themselves. Would you please welcome to the show today, Adam Carnevale and Jackson Baly.
Whoa!
Hey!
We do deserve an applause.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I kept that going a little longer, which is embarrassing for my own applause.
It's always embarrassing being the last person clapping.
Yeah, especially for yourself.
Yeah.
But there's only four people in a room. Everyone's got to do it.
Still
Yeah.
good.
God,
Wherever you are, keep clapping.
It was Adam that time.
Yeah, Adam was the last clap. Well, I didn't want to do it again. That would have been double humiliating, yeah.
How are you both?
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
been better. I could run a mile.
Really?
A whole mile?
One.
Have you ever run a mile?
I not run a mile. I've probably walked a mile.
So the answer to the question, have you run a mile, is no.
Yeah, no.
I was thinking about this the other day. So you know, an Ironman
Yes.
is an event where you do a marathon run, you do a 150k ride, and then like a 5k swim in the ocean, something like that.
Yeah.
Super long.
Big
I
numbers.
was thinking about this. I don't think that because recently the oldest person ever has done it,
Yeah.
80 years old.
Yeah, that's
I don't
right.
think, and it took him 17 hours, which is the limit apparently, but I don't think cumulatively in my whole life I've done an Ironman. I have not ridden that far or swum that far.
Do you think, I was just thinking, because the Ironman's is 3 events, right? It's
Yes.
like
Yeah.
running, cycling, swimming.
Yeah, and they're
think so.
all after each other.
Do you think if you split it across Do Go On, you could do one together?
I'm going to look up how long the ride is.
And what if you did, like, if the Ironman didn't work? Because there's multiple, like, three events, aren't there? There's, like, the one where you got to shoot something. The
I think that's only
Iditarod, is that an
two.
Iditarod?
Skiing and shooting, I think.
Okay.
Skiing and shooting, all the modern pentathlon.
Matt can stay home, yeah.
But that's 5 when you got to do the
Well, we'll
horse
come in.
riding.
We'll do that.
But there's the triathlon.
Yeah.
At the Olympics. We could do that. Or there's the triple jump. I could do the hop. Jess could do the step, and then Matt could do the jump.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Do you think
Yeah.
Do you think it would be feasibly possible for it to possibly even come close to an Olympic world record?
If you had 3
If you had 3 people, do you think the 3 of you could make one Olympic athlete?
and we all get a run up, because usually they do it one, then the other, then the other, then the other. But if we all did a run, I'd run, do a step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we could probably get 50% of the way.
I think
to
you
an
could get
Olympic
close.
record.
I think you could get close. Do you
Yeah.
think if you ran and then stepped, you'd fall over? Feels like that would be really hard to, go very fast and then stop one step. Yeah.
How many, just while Jesse looking up the...
I think I found it.
Yeah.
Of what an Ironman is. And I think, Dave, you're letting us down.
Oh, okay.
Oh!
Interesting.
So brutal.
It's a marathon, so a 42.2k run.
Okay, I'm not doing that bit.
Oh my
but
God.
but you're saying cumulatively.
Yeah.
Nailed it. I reckon Matt's done that because he would, when he's running consistently,
yes.
he's doing 10k.
In his life, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Absolutely. The cycle is 112 miles or 180k. I've done that.
All right.
Yeah.
I have not done
So
that
then
bit.
you just need to swim 3.8ks.
In the ocean, never done that. And never will do that.
But you think cumulatively.
3.8 is not that
Yeah.
much.
That's not that bad.
How big is a swimming pool? How big's the like
50 meter?
50 meter of the
meters?
Olympics? Yeah.
I reckon I might have you, if you want to dump
Dave.
If you want to dump Dave,
Adam,
I might
am
have you on the
always
swimming.
desperate to dump Dave.
Okay. We make
Any
it
opportunity.
We make it 4 events, and the final one is me
Reading a book.
Reading a book. while sitting in one of those dunk
tanks.
thing.
Yeah.
Dunk tank.
Oh, okay.
Jackson is throwing baseballs at a target, and if he hits me and Shakespeare's entire play, book falls into the water.
Great.
That's how we finish.
You're going to finish that book.
All right.
I'm not dunking you. I do not have the throwing on for that.
Do you think so you can do it starts up from this point forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to do you have to do an Iron Man challenge, but you can stop whenever you're ready. So the running part, you can run for like a few minutes, stop and be like, I'll come back to that later.
Okay.
Do you think with infinite rests, essentially is what I'm asking,
Yeah.
with infinite rests, do you think you could beat a professional athlete?
Wait, do you... No.
But the athlete's getting tired. They have to do it all consecutively.
Yeah, but is it a time thing? Because
Well, yeah,
I'm
but
resting.
you get to
What are you
pause.
talking about? I'm asleep. This is literally the tortoise and the hare, dude. Except the
tortoise wins.
the tortoise wins.
But wait, I think what you're saying is that like when you stop, the clock stops. Is that right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
like if you do it in like I just run 50 meters a day, the fastest I can run.
Yeah.
If over several hundred days I do that, is my time stacked up? Is that faster than?
Okay, for the swimming portion, what I'm going to do is only like just jump into the pool and just measure that.
Yes.
Make all of your pool part the part where you kick off the wall.
Exactly.
Clever.
You're
Yeah.
all wall.
Yeah.
All wall,
You
yeah.
could stack
power.
it. You could stack it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could.
I think we could do it.
yeah.
I think we've got this.
I've looked up the triple jump. The male world record is held by Jonathan Edwards of the United Kingdom. A jump of 18.29 meters or 60 feet.
I reckon I could throw you that length.
That counts to hammer toss.
Yeah. I could just, we'll put you in a little sack and I'll get a good swing and I'll throw you. Look, we've gotten derailed very quickly.
Yes,
Yeah.
so we've got a topic to talk to you about.
Okay.
And it's not athletic based, I'm so sorry to say.
That's okay.
But for anyone who hasn't heard the show before, Jess, what do we do here?
Well, we talk about Ironman
World records.
world records.
Could we beat them?
Yeah. We speculate.
Speculate, and we never act on it.
God,
So we
no.
no one can ever prove us wrong.
But some of the other time, we take it in turns to research a topic usually suggested to us by our listeners. We go away, we read all about it, we bring it back to the others who listen politely, who never go on dog shit riffs, and are always very respectful of the report giver. And it's Dave's turn this week. We usually start with a question as well, Dave.
Yes, I've got a question for all three of you, and that is, shout out if you know it. I think this came up on an episode recently.
So I won't know it.
So, but according to 7 News in 2021, a survey in Australia found what to be the least trustworthy profession.
It's got to be something like politician or lawyer. It's going to be like one of the classics, right?
Postman.
It is. What is he doing with my packages?
Yeah, I'll pick up my mail. I don't want a third party involved.
It's unnecessary.
I don't need
middleman.
that.
I don't need you feeling up my envelopes.
Yeah, get out of there. Get your grubby fingers away from my parcels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Greg, my Nike's never turned up, and I know your feet look good. All right, I know what happened.
You've been speedy, Greg.
I will say, Adam, you are absolutely on the money. But of the two, which are you going to lock in?
Politician. I'm going to lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing.
Oh,
Correct,
okay.
politician.
Well done.
And that's not surprising after learning of this week's topic, Thomas Lay.
Oh,
Let
okay.
me tell you all about this dirty politician.
Oh my God, wuzza.
You can't say it in a slightly sultry voice. You can't say dirty politician like
Yeah.
that.
No, just a crook. Anyway, okay. So
Fair enough.
Thomas Lay, have you heard of him? I doubt you have. It's-
No.
No.
He's in his heyday about 100 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Thomas Lay.
Thomas Lay, yes. You know.
In his lay day.
Yeah.
From about 100 years ago, right?
Yeah,
Now
that's
he's
a
a
politician. Yeah, okay. A dirty
one.
politician.
Hey,
Sorry, a dirty
who's doing the
politician.
report here, guys? So Thomas John Lay
Oh, okay.
was born on the 28th of October, 1880 in Bath, Somerset.
Somerset.
Lovely place
It's
in
a
England.
great place to say.
It was so fun to say. We went to Bath. Do you remember we went and saw the
Yeah.
Roman baths there?
I do remember that.
Beautiful. I don't think I appreciated at the time that we were in Somerset.
Somerset.
Yeah.
No, me either.
Somerset.
Do you remember when you drove up a one-way street?
Oh my gosh, yes, I drove down the main mall
Oh my
of Bath because the GPS said go this way, and we were like in quite a big van, and I only realised when I started driving up and I saw, weird that they put the Christmas nativity scene in the middle of the street.
Oh, no.
I was so close to driving into baby
That
Jesus.
would've-
Oh, my God.
So I just had to quickly pull off.
That's awesome.
We had some great driving experiences.
Great time. So Thomas John Lay, his mother was Elizabeth and his father was Henry, a butler.
Okay.
Which would you say butler? They're quite trustworthy.
No.
Unless
they
they've
always
done the
do it?
murder.
Yeah, the butler always did it.
Sadly, Henry, the butler, died in a workhouse hospital when his son Thomas was just 6 years old. And shortly after, in 1886, his mother migrated to Sydney with their 4 children and her mother.
Okay.
So the family didn't have much money when they moved over, and from a young age, Lay had to work as a paper boy and a messenger. Paper boy, almost a postman,
Yeah, that's
not
true.
trustworthy.
Not
Yep.
trustworthy. Stop getting your grubby little fingers on my
Middleman.
news, okay?
No more middleman.
I'll go right up to the news myself. I'll take the paper. I'll take it back to my house.
If I didn't hear about it, I don't need to know.
That's why you went first hand, whatever you see.
I'm going to wait on my porch, and when the paperboy throws the news at me, I'm going to hit it back with a bat. Keep it.
Knock him off the bar. News.com.au, which has an article about this that I'll link to, writes that it was during this paper run in the wealthy areas with mansions in Sydney that he decided that he was going to one day get rich or die trying.
Whoa.
50 Cent style.
Badass.
I think getting rich is a great goal.
Yeah.
I think it just it creates a type of person that is just good for the world.
Exactly. Someone who's prepared to do anything to get.
Absolutely.
What do you want to be when you're older? Rich. Okay.
It's tangible. You know?
Yeah,
I want to help
exactly.
people. What does
Yeah.
that mean? Doesn't mean anything.
It's clear. It's,
Yeah.
yeah. I love it.
It's a middleman of jobs,
Yeah,
to be honest,
exactly.
helping people.
Yeah. But getting rich,
Yes.
that's just money in the bank.
And I mean, there's always rich people. You're never going to go out of work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
The world will always need rich people.
Exactly. Yeah. Since time immemorial, there's been rich people.
Yeah.
You could be that job. Continue
If
the legacy.
If the pandemic taught us nothing, it was that, there's so few industries that have true job security.
Yeah.
We're always going to need teachers. We're always going to need doctors. We're always going to need Richie McRich.
Exactly. And
We're
that's what he
always
wanted
going to need them.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted to be. He knew that there wasn't always going to be paper boys, but there's always
Yeah.
going to be rich people, so that was his big goal.
He was
Smart.
like, print media is
On the way out.
On the way out. It's on the fritz.
In 1860, I can tell print media is not going to last.
In 70, 80 years, this thing's dead.
I'm going to get out now.
Leigh went to school at Crown Street Public in Surrey Hills, where he probably would have been there at the same time as Victor Trumper, one of Australian cricket's early stars. What a small world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great last name.
Yeah, Victor Trumper.
Victor Trumper.
Trumper.
And
Trumper.
there's a photo of him holding a bat like around the turn of the century on his Wikipedia page, and it's
Yeah.
listed as, it says, this is probably the most famous cricket photo of all time. Victor Trumper, there you go, but what a big call.
Yeah.
Yeah. For now.
I haven't heard of it.
yeah, but if I showed you, you'd be like, that's pretty great.
That's a good photo.
But the schooling years didn't last long for Thomas Leigh, who had to leave his education at the age of just 10 when his mother withdrew him to assist her in running a grocery store that she had bought. He also later worked on a dairy farm near Windsor. So he's quite poor, working from a very young age, but remember, he wants to be rich.
Yeah. Okay.
According to the great source that is the Australian Dictionary of Biography. We love this source. Leigh, however, had ambitions for working in the law. While at Windsor, he studiously learned shorthand after hours and transcribed lengthy political speeches from the papers. A mostly self-educated man, at 14, he secured appointment as a junior clerk stenographer in a Pitt Street solicitor's office.
At 14.
At 14.
That is young. Yeah.
When he's left school 4 years earlier, now he's like, I'm just going to be a solicitor now.
Yeah.
And he just taught himself.
milked cows. I've sold apples.
How hard could it be?
Yeah, exactly.
How can it
A
be?
lot of transferable skills there,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
At the age of 18, he married Emily Louisa Stone Vernon.
Oh my God, that's a good
What a
name.
name,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a real good name.
She was the daughter of a well-off Somerset doctor.
Somerset.
Somerset.
Impossible not to say. She had recently moved to Australia and they lived with his wife's widowed mother, and together the couple had 3 sons.
Okay.
They're 18.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, come on.
He's working his way up at the firm.
Well, he worked his way up for quite a long time in the solicitor's office, and in 1914, at the age of 34, he finally was admitted as a solicitor. So he'd been doing like
Whoa,
the
that's
juniors.
a-
It's 2 decades.
Yeah, that's a long time. Although I have no idea about how long it does take. So
Yeah. Probably not 20 years, right?
Probably,
Surely
if
not.
you don't go to uni, probably 20 years.
yeah,
They're about
true,
to
He's
true,
just
true.
yeah.
learning it on the job. He was also a fantastic debater.
Okay.
Joining the Sydney Mechanics School of Arts, Leigh, from this point, had his eye on politics. Again, from the ADOB, Australian Dictionary of Biography. The inner city offered few opportunities for an aspiring young politician, so in 1907, he moved to the developing suburb of Hurstville. Within 5 months, he was elected. Oh, ow.
That's very good.
That's very generous.
It was so great because it's so understated. He pushed through the pain and became a local councillor.
Okay.
He served on council committees dealing with parks and gardens, rates and levies, building and health bylaws, street maintenance. Sort of grassroots stuff. He was involved in the local Ratepayers Association, and the Parents and Citizens Executive was active in the Protestant organisations such as the Presbyterian Debating Society. Through his advocacy of prohibition and his involvement in the temperance movement, the teetotaler acquired the nickname Lemonade Lay.
Lemonade Lay.
That sucks.
Although it's been suspected that Thomas himself had invented this, quote, insult so he could wear it proudly as a badge of honour, give himself a bit of a rep and an identity.
That's funny because it's not a very good insult or a very
No,
good badge
it's
of
not
honor.
good.
It kind of doesn't work as either.
No one was talking about Thomas Lay, but everyone is talking about Lemonade Lay.
And I mean, nicknames that people make up for themselves are always good and they always stick.
Yeah. Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
that right, Cobra?
Don't
Yes.
trust a nickname. It's the middleman of names. Yeah, it goes in the middle.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's true. I always hate when it's like if I had I don't think this counts. If say my nickname was Jackie, my name's Jackson, is Jackie, and then you'll be like, I'm Jackson Jackie Baly.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. That's not a nickname.
No, yeah, Jackson Jackie Baly.
Jackie's not a nickname. It's just a shortening of my name.
Yeah, like I'm David Dave Warnicky.
that doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
No, that's not a nickname.
But I am Jess Bop Perkins.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that
that
is.
counts. That counts.
Because there's no clear correlation.
And I attempted to be Dave Cobra Warnicky in high school. It didn't work.
I think it
Didn't
should
it?
have.
It didn't work?
It didn't catch on.
What did
Can you
do?
believe that?
What did you
What?
do
This
to
is
make
strange.
it work? What effort did you put in on
Just
your
to be
end?
like, hey, guys, wouldn't it be cool if we called me Cobra? That's such a cool nickname. Like, I could be like Cobra.
You didn't get like a cobra ring or like
Yeah.
wear like a cow or whatever.
And you're saying wearing a cow.
Well, like a cobra's got a cow.
I know what you meant. That's insane.
Well, you know,
School had a uniform.
Hey, I checked the rules. There was nothing about cows in there.
There's nothing in the rule book that says a cobra can't be your name.
I was getting the Cobra tattoo.
Did you even consider? Because I remember for our high school when we hit year 12, we got hoodies
Yep.
that we could put a nickname on the back of. Did you consider Cobra for that nickname?
I really should have. I ended up putting.
Tell me it was just Dave.
I put on. No, I went with The Simpsons. I went with Bort.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Because I thought that was funny, but I really should have. Cobra
should have gone
is so
Cobra.
much funnier.
Yeah.
And you know what the thing is? It took so long for the Year 12 jumpers to arrive. They arrived in the last week of high school.
Oh, that sucks.
Wore them
Yeah.
for 5 days. Never, ever again.
and they cost about $100.
Yes, it was-
They were so
Yeah.
expensive.
Mine said Scout because I actually had a nickname. Loser!
Oh, that's a good one too. She dressed as a ham for Halloween.
She sure did. She was a weird kid.
That's a really weird thing to
Weird
do.
kid.
Such a great costume, though. So this is Lemonade Lay. He ran for mayor several times, but was never elected. So he stepped it up and decided to go for state politics.
Okay.
If you fail at the mayor,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
not go for even the bigger prize?
Yeah.
This was more successful, and in March 1917, he was elected to the Legislative Assembly for Hertzville, for the National Party, which is the New South Wales State Parliament lower house. Ow, too hot to handle.
Yeah, it is a reaching in somewhere hot to get something noise we're doing.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, I really want this chicken wing.
Reaching over a candle.
Oh, I should have got the mitts.
So he's made it as a state politician, which is cool. He was pro-conscription, this is during the First World War, as was his party, the National Party, who had split from the Labour Party over the issue. After 3 years, Lay moved to another party and another seat, winning the seat of St George for the Progressive Party. He was also part of what I believe is the shortest government in Australian history.
Really?
In your opinion.
Well, I didn't quite fact check it, but I was like, it can't be shorter than this, right?
Okay.
The Nationalist Party that Lay was a member of was led by a guy called George Fuller. And at the time, the Premier of New South Wales, so the leader of the state, was James Dooley, who had only gotten the job after his colleague, John Story, had suddenly died.
Okay.
He was the deputy. Dooley steps up. So James Dooley's super new to the job, and George Fuller from the other party took full advantage of this and was able to defeat Premier James Dooley's government on a motion of no confidence. This is where you get all the pollies to vote that someone isn't suited for the job.
Yeah, sure.
Rarely happens, but if you get him to, and so he had to, step down. And as a result, George Fuller himself was asked if he could form his own government, which he did. So George Fuller passed a motion of no confidence, became Premier himself. Fantastic. For a whole 7 hours.
Beating that's going to be hard.
Yeah. I reckon you're pretty safe.
7
That's
hours.
the shortest one, yeah.
Before George Fuller himself lost on an emotion of no confidence on him. Everyone was like, we don't want this guy.
That's incredible.
That's not long enough.
hours.
That's not long enough.
Yeah, everyone's like, you're doing a terrible job. How many hospitals have you done in the last 7 hours? Get out of here.
Wow.
And then Jack Dooley was quickly returned to power, the guy that had been kicked out.
What?
What? Why?
What a
Yeah,
waste
people
of
are like-
everyone's time.
I've got no confidence in Dooley, but I have less confidence in George Fuller, so Dooley's back.
That's crazy.
That is, all right, so I don't know if this is something that the rest of you encounter, but if I am given at a restaurant, if I'm given the wrong meal,
Sure.
Yep.
I'll eat that meal.
Yep.
Okay.
I will sit there and shut the hell up.
The waiters who
Hang on. How wrong a meal? So you've ordered the chicken, somebody gives you like a potato and leek soup. You're just slurping it down?
eaten food that I am allergic to.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Adam.
Every waiter in every restaurant that I have ever been to does not understand the power they hold over me.
Yeah.
I will finish that plate, no matter what plate is brought out to me, and I will pay for it.
You pay for it, and then you go to the alley and put your EpiPen into your thigh.
The concept, the idea that someone could be like, no, we don't want this government, we want this government.
Yeah.
No, we want the original government.
Yeah.
It's like an alien did that. As far
So
as
the
I'm
idea that they
concerned.
got the second guy in and weren't like, oh, he sucks, but we'll just deal with him. We'll drink the soup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't send a soup back. To send a government back like that, wouldn't.
Do you
Couldn't
also feel
imagine.
bad if you don't finish your plate at the restaurant?
Yes.
They don't care.
I feel like I'm insulting them.
Do you know what?
Yes, I apologize to them too, saying, "Oh, sorry, I ate before I came. I really like this. I really liked
I loved it.
I
I'm
don't say
just
shit.
full.
Whatever.
Okay. When I was a kid, though, because my mum was always good at that, because I don't eat huge portions.
Yeah, sure.
Because I need to eat more frequently through the day, okay?
That's all right.
Gets to mealtime and I'm not eating huge portions. And as a kid one time, I was done and my mum was like, that's okay, you did well, good job. And then the waiter came to take the plate and then she said, I think you can eat a bit more.
Oh my God.
No way.
To a child that wasn't hers!
That's
Wow.
crazy.
And it gave me such a complex that now, and thank God my partner is just a human garbage bag. Like, I'll eat as much as I want and then just hand it over. And that
Wow.
plate is clean.
Is that his nickname, the human garbage bag?
My dad literally calls him Glad Bag.
That's awesome.
Now that is a nickname.
And it was given to him.
Wow.
Not affectionately.
My dad is an incredible eater.
Yeah.
Incredible eater.
My dad, at some point, he hit I don't know when it happened, where food's just become fuel for him. He used to like food, and now he like makes breakfast and he just gets whatever he can find, puts it in a frying pan, eats it with a spoon, gets on with his day.
Wow.
I don't know, just some
keeps
transition
going down.
happened to him.
Ah, interesting.
And he forgets that he likes food, which is weird. So we'll be like, oh, we're going to go out for Mexican with the family. And he's like, I hate Mexican food. And then we sit there and he's like, Mexican food's pretty good. We're like, you don't know what you want.
Just keep eating.
You've lost your mind.
What's going on, Dad? You have a tattoo of nachos. You love Mexican food.
One time my dad ate so much that the waiter at the end came up to him and said, "Sir, you are a weapon." You know how we say that to him? Like, you know, if you're at a buffet, like, I think the weapon.
Yeah.
Step up.
Call in the weapon.
Yeah, call in the weapon. That's right. Like you can't finish
Yeah.
your plate.
Yeah, straight over.
Over to the weapon.
Get the
It's
weapon on
great.
the ball.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Do you ever have when you order, you don't finish a meal? I mean, you all finish your meals, but this happens to me. I don't finish a meal. The waiter comes along and they say, was there something wrong with it? That's the worst thing.
no.
Is there a
Dang.
problem with the chicken? No, I'm just done.
Yeah, I've eaten enough for me.
I'm full of food.
Yeah.
Leave
I've
me
literally
alone.
had nightmares that are that.
Yes.
And I've had one instance where it became a bit of a debate. Where he was like, are you done with, I was like, I'm done with the chicken. And he's like, is there something wrong with it? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, why didn't you finish it?
Oh my god!
This was at a Chinese restaurant somewhere.
That is
It
an
was,
absolute nightmare.
Like hand you like a little a form to fill out.
yeah. What's wrong with you?
you can tell me if you hate it.
that's what
Just
it's
tell me.
like.
A full stat
It's
deck.
like, I don't know. And the actual thing was, I was being polite because it was disgusting. What I wanted to say is it was slimy as hell for some reason. But I held my tongue.
Said I loved it. It was the best chicken I've ever had. I'm just full.
Well, why weren't you finishing it? Take it home. Well, I could.
I could, but I'm just going to throw it out. You may as well throw it out here in your bin.
That is also alien to me. As I've also worked as a waiter, I've been
Yeah.
on both sides of that equation. And as a waiter, my goal was always to get in and out as quickly as possible. I don't know
that's
why
what
you're
assume-
asking.
Yeah, I know. Don't stick around.
Yeah, strike up an unnecessary conversation about a meal you didn't prepare.
I know, that's what I think. They don't care. They didn't. If the cook comes out to you, then maybe you got. I mean, I don't know what's happening at the restaurant.
Comes out with a butcher's knife.
We got something wrong with the chicken? No.
It's actually, I'll eat it now, dude. It's delicious.
Can't help
Love
but
it.
notice you didn't finish it. Oh, well, you'll eat it now? Well, you don't want it cold. I'll make you a new one.
Okay.
A full meal comes out.
I'm being extorted by this kitchen. Yeah.
And I'll sit here until you finish it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I love it.
So Thomas Lay.
Yeah. What about
Lay.
it?
Yeah.
He was part of that government for 7 hours. He's hit the big time.
Nice.
But Lay himself was not popular with his own party. The ABDO says that he was deserted by many of his colleagues. They write, Lay was a fluent speaker with a most unctuous manner and deluded many with his community work and pious utterances, but his colleagues seem to know the truth about him because he's out there saying, I don't drink, no one should drink. But they're
Lemonade Lay, baby.
Bullshit. Because like I said, he was a supposed teetotaler, nicknamed Lemonade Lay, and the temperance movement who wanted to limit alcohol consumption loved him until he supported legislation which eased requirements for the sale of alcohol.
Oh.
So you're telling me the person who went into politics with the idea that they wanted to be rich didn't stand by...
Can you believe it?
That's crazy to me.
Well, that's crazy.
That's crazy
That
stuff.
doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
I think you need to go back and do some more research.
Are you putting word on the ABDO? Australian Dictionary of Biography? Maybe it's ADBO. Anyway, whatever it is.
Them's fighting words.
ADBO.
Yeah. It
No,
later-
ADOB.
Australian Dictionary of Biography.
You're right, it's the ADOB.
Or is it the Australian Biography of Dictionary?
A bod?
A bod? A dob?
Is it a bod or a dob, dude?
It's a dob. It's a dob.
A dob. A dob. A double bod.
It's a dob. It's a dob, everyone.
Okay, thank God.
Okay, it later became... Sorry, I've lost my spot now.
That's okay.
It's not okay.
I'm just getting word it's not okay.
This just in. It's not okay.
It later actually became evident that he was being paid by the brewery lobby and that Lay himself was a big drinker. So it was...
Wait, Lemonade Lay.
It's like a wrestling character for him. Like none of it is
So
true.
funny.
None of it is true.
He's like, I'm doing a
Lemonade
bit.
Lay, and then backstage he's just like shotting bourbon.
What's the word for the like act that they do in wrestling? The
Kayfabe?
Yeah,
It's
kayfabe.
kayfabe.
It's all kayfabe. Yeah. He's trying to justify it. It's like you're ruling for the state here.
I'm playing character. It's a
It's a
character.
character. Everything's a character.
I also nearly said ACAB.
It's ACAB.
You're
It's
thinking
ACAB.
of ACAB. You're welcome. I'm helpful in this conversation.
So he lost the support of the temperance movement by showing his true colours there, but this did not stop him from being appointed New South Wales Minister for Justice. And won't that
Okay.
seem a little ironic later on?
Oh,
no.
This was from 1922 to 1925 in the cabinet of Premier Sir George Fuller, who got another proper go at being Premier. He was the one that
God.
had for 7 hours.
What the hell?
He came back.
People got some confidence in him, I guess.
He got a new haircut and everyone was like, actually,
God, you look great.
Have you seen Fuller lately? Let's give him the government.
he's looking all right.
He's looking good.
Yeah.
He's looking healthy. I trust him.
cool
now.
sideburns.
Oh, maybe that 7-hour government was because of his 5 o'clock shadow.
Oh, that's true.
That might have been
He
it.
grew a bit of a beard. They're
Yeah.
like,
Might
oh,
have
get
been
this
it.
guy out.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Oh my God.
And then next time they see him clean shaven, they're like, why did we kick you out?
God, you're such a...
You look great.
You look great.
You look really good.
Great.
Government's all about
Youthful.
looks.
Yeah.
Just look at them. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, all of them. Never seen a dud politician. God, they're each hotter than the last.
No uggos amongst them.
Baddies all the way down. That's politics.
So he became Minister for Justice for the state, and as Minister for Justice, Lay was notoriously harsh. There was an outcry when he refused to commute a death sentence, and he was like, yeah, nah, the law's the law. And he let this famous case, he let the guy hang.
Okay.
People were like, you are brutal. In
Hot dog.
1925, he was re-elected to his seat, but his party lost the election, so he was now in opposition and no longer Minister for Justice. So when he got a personal invite from Prime Minister Viscount Stanley Melbourne Bruce.
Whoa.
Do you know we've got a former
fuck?
Prime Minister,
Who?
Viscount Stanley Melbourne Bruce.
His middle name was Melbourne?
Yes,
What's a Viscount? I know what a count is.
It's
no,
a Vi
I don't.
count.
Yeah, think about a count. Now think about a Vi.
Okay.
Put them together.
Combine them.
What do you got?
You get a Vi
You get a
count.
Vi count.
Okay. All right. Hey, you learn a little something every now and
As
then.
opposed
You
to
know?
the 1, 2, 3, 4, you go 1 Vi, 2 Vi, 3 Vi.
Is that Vi counting?
Yeah, that's Vi counting, yeah.
That's a really good bit.
You actually, hang on, I'm just getting a message. You actually legally need to be nice to me.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, this just in.
Just in.
So yeah, Prime Minister Stanley Melbourne Bruce, he disliked his given name. I didn't know anything about it, so I looked into it for a bit. And throughout his life, he preferred to be known by his initials SM. Even amongst his close friends, his wife simply called him S.
You're like a spy. That's weird.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Call him babe.
Yeah. Hubby.
Yeah, come on.
Honey.
Yeah.
S, but she's
so
calling him
dull.
Yeah,
There's
sugar.
so many pet names.
Pumpkin. Yeah.
S.
Any of these are good.
Yuck.
S, that's a snake letter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for snakes.
Okay.
When he became Prime Minister, he issued a note to the press asking newspapers to use his initials and not his given name. He's like, do not call me Stanley Melbourne. Call me SM.
It's crazy because it's not even that ridiculous a name.
Stanley.
It's like pretty normal.
That's fine.
Stan. That's like your go-to name for a normal guy.
Yeah. And what's his surname again?
Bruce.
That's a bit
Stanley
weird.
Bruce.
It's two first names.
Get rid of Melbourne. That's weird.
Yeah. Was Melbourne a city at this point?
It was, and he was from like a pretty powerful family.
Okay, that's
How
weird.
old do you think Melbourne is?
Who can say it?
Who could say? Nobody knows.
So this guy, Stanley Melbourne Bruce, he called our main man, Thomas Lay, up and said, would you like to stand for the federal seat of Barton? You got a personal invite saying you could be up in federal politics. You could run for my party. And he said, yes. He quit state politics. This is the big time.
Yeah.
Federal. So he left that.
Wealth on the horizon,
Yeah,
hopefully.
he's closer.
He
Every
can taste
day. Yeah.
Yes, closer. The Prime Minister invited Lay to stand for his party in the seat of Barton in New South Wales. Before the election, the seat had been held for 3 years by a guy called Frederick MacDonald, a member for the Labor Party. Before his election in 1922, Frederick MacDonald had been a school teacher for 13 years, and from what I can read, seems like a pretty nice guy.
Okay. Sure.
Then came the 1925 election, where MacDonald went toe-to-toe with our guy, Thomas Lay. And it was not a clean fight. It got very messy out there on the campaign trail. During the campaign, Thomas Lay had a crack at MacDonald for his alleged links to communists.
Oh, no. Nasty.
Terrible. Awful.
Terrible.
Oh
Can
my
you
God.
believe this?
Yeah. Ugh. I'd hate that.
Do you have links to communists?
What?
So
No.
these guys sound like a couple of commies.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, me, I'm as capitalist as apple pie. 100%, yeah, I would never.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd like
okay
to
then.
buy your apple pie.
Well, you can at a fair market price. As we capitalists, wasn't going to say a different thing, as we capitalists love to do, I will sell it to you.
Guys, you
Damn,
want
it's
a
good.
private meeting? I got some dirt on Adam. For
Your fingers
preferential
crossed behind your
treatment,
back.
I will name names.
They're going to put me in whatever capitalists do with communists.
Sing Sing, that's where you're going.
Oh, no.
Straight to Sing Sing.
So Lay's like, McDonald's a communist, spreading all this rumor about him. Then on the day before the election, McDonald bit back. He alleged that the year before, Lay had tried to bribe him into not contesting the seat of Barton and tried to get him to sit out the election. Apparently, Lay had offered McDonald a £2,000 share in a property at King's Cross in return for withdrawing from the ballot. That's equal to £100,000 today.
Okay.
So fair chunk of change to
Yeah.
say, all you got to do is nothing.
Yeah, sounds like a good deal.
I'd take $100,000 to do nothing.
Yeah.
All you got to do is nothing.
I'm doing nothing for
100,000
free, so.
Yeah.
£100,000, is that straight converted to dollars? Or would that be...
That is because we were using pounds in
Yeah.
Australia back
Yeah,
then.
okay, yeah.
So I've just converted that to modern British pounds sterling.
Okay, so it's British pounds. So that'd be like
Like
$250,000-ish?
Yeah.
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 Pretty good money.
I would do nothing
yeah,
for that.
absolutely.
I
Pretty
would
good
do
money.
nothing for that as well, yeah.
What's that? You've just reminded me. What's that story about when we changed from pounds to dollars? And there was like a meeting about what we were going to call our unit of currency. And it was something like, we were going to call it like the Austral or the Oral or something like that.
The Oral.
No, and it was something like that. The reason we didn't, I wish I could remember what it was specifically. The reason we did it is because
It
there's
sounds like a sex act.
yeah, there was like
Yeah.
a transcript of like Parliament at the time, and they're like, we know Australians, they're going to shorten it, and what they shortened it to sounded like a dirty word or whatever, so they're like, we can't do it. They'll rack it. Oh, that's so annoying. I can't
Even
remember what
back
it was
then,
called.
we were shortening everything.
Yeah, like we know what they're they're gonna
That's
do.
nice.
We can't let them do that.
Can't
Yeah.
have nice things.
They're not gonna get away with it. Call it dollars.
It has to be dollars.
They're going to call it suckos.
It's something like that.
A suck job.
Hey,
20 suck jobs. Thanks, heaps.
Yeah, can you lend me 6 suck jobs, please?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Yeah,
Man, coffee's getting expensive.
yeah. They might find some funny way to make this suck job sound dirty.
We can't be having that.
Hey, have you heard the kids? They don't call them suck jobs anymore. They just call them...
Imagine.
I don't need to imagine, Jack. We live
You're
in that
living
world.
it. Yeah, oh my God.
That's great.
So McDonald said, Lay tried to bribe me. He's dodgy as. I'm not a communist like he's saying. He's the dodgy one. Of course, Lay furiously denied the allegations and on election day issued a writ against McDonald, claiming that he would sue him for £15,000 for defamation. Lay even made this statement to the press. He said, "My opponents have accused me of just about every crime except the most serious one of all. But I'm sure that someone someday will make out a plausible case against me for murder."
Don't say that.
Do not say that.
You're tempting fate there a
Yeah,
little bit.
absolutely.
What is wrong with you?
On election day, it was so close in the seat of Barton. Lay, he won, but by only 1,000 votes, which was only 1% of all the votes in the seat at the time. So he just narrowly snuck through. But the losing man, the teacher, Frederick MacDonald, was not happy, and a couple of months later, in January 1926, MacDonald challenged the election result in the Court of Disputed Returns on the basis of the bribery allegations.
Okay.
It's like, this guy tried to bribe me. He should not be a member of Parliament.
Yeah.
In March 1926, it was reported that he and Lay had agreed on a legal settlement wherein MacDonald issued an apology for the bribery allegations, and they both stated their intention to withdraw their respective lawsuits. Because remember, Lay was suing MacDonald for making up what he said was libel about him.
Yeah.
And then MacDonald was like, "I'm suing you for bribery." They're like, "Okay, we'll agree to
No
nothing
court cases.
happened. We're all good."
We'll call it. Yeah.
However, according to this very astute political website I found called wikipedia.org,
Oh my God.
it has been suggested that Frederick MacDonald subsequently had a, quote, fit of remorse and refused to withdraw the petition. Like MacDonald had gone, "No, I am going to take this to court. This guy is dodgy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let him get away with it.
Okay. Seems like a good guy.
I will challenge the election result in pursuit of the truth.
Yeah.
I don't care what it costs me." The next month, in April 1926, Frederick MacDonald went to have a meeting with the New South Wales Premier, Jack Lang, about a job at the Education Department.
Okay.
The thing is, Mr. MacDonald never made it to that meeting.
Oh my God.
He
Interesting.
disappeared.
I am reminded of something Lemonade Lay said previously.
One day they might accuse me of murdering Fred MacDonald and making him disappear. I certainly will
Somebody
not be
could
doing
say
that.
that.
They might say that on the 26th of April. I'll do that. I will not be doing that. He was last seen at 2:30 p.m. by his wife outside Shallow House in Martin Place, where he left for the appointment with the Premier, but he never arrived at that meeting.
Okay.
Well, it could be anyone, you know?
Exactly.
People get lost all the time.
All the
Yeah.
time.
Especially in Sydney.
Yeah, you trip, fall into the bay, shark gets you. Never mind, the end.
You go up a one-way street, and you're like, well, now I got to do like 5 lefts.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Might as well leave the town.
Yeah. I'm
Cleaning your gun, accidentally shoot yourself on the head 2 times.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
From behind.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Execution style, some would say.
Bury yourself accidentally in the desert by mistake.
We've all done it.
Oh my God.
We've all been there.
Now I'm setting fire to my own corpse.
Oh my God, looks like I'm not leaving any evidence. What am I doing?
Oh, posthumously filing down my teeth? Oh, what the hell?
Butterfingers.
Despite announcing in March that he would in fact contest the election with his intention to withdraw the agreement with Lay, because remember he said, actually, no, I'm going to withdraw that. He'd never actually formally withdrawn the agreement to not sue, and when the matter went to court on the 23rd of April, his solicitor denied knowledge of the settlement and sought an adjournment in the hope that MacDonald would soon be found alive.
Okay.
However, after an extensive search, MacDonald was never found and the matter was just struck out of court. So Lay, completely off the hook.
Okay,
The guy that was going to sue him and challenge the election has disappeared.
Would you call that suspicious? You think?
Well,
I
reports
think
that
it's fortuitous.
yeah, exactly.
He's a lucky guy, that's
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Lucky
And what, now
Lay.
we're having to go at him for being lucky?
Yeah.
Like that's his fault?
What's
Is that a
this
crime?
world come to, dude?
Come on.
Come on.
The guy was a teetotaler. I don't think he's going to get into anything harder than that.
Yeah, exactly. Lemonade lay because he drank so much lemonade.
Yeah.
Or just regular amounts, but instead of beer.
Still leaders of the stuff. Reports at the time suggested that his rival McDonald was suffering from nervous trouble at the time of his disappearance. So some people just wrote it off.
He was having nervous trouble, you guys.
Oh, poor him.
He was just super worried that he might get murdered.
He seemed a little on edge.
Yeah, he was worried he might disappear. Paranoid. That would never happen, I told him. And now it's happened.
I feel bad.
Yeah.
But it's paranoid.
Yeah.
So Lay wasn't investigated, and he could get on with his life as an uncontested member of parliament. However, the cloud that hung around him after this became a fatal blow to his political career. Basically, before the election, he thought he'd be made a minister.
Yeah,
Because remember, he got the Viscount. Mr.
Yeah.
Melbourne
that's
tapped him on the
right.
shoulder, gave him the personal call-up.
Yeah.
SM.
But after this, because this was heavily publicised, both the bribery and then also the guy disappearing, the Prime Minister was like, I can't have you on my cabinet. You can't be Minister for me anymore,
And then
sorry.
the Prime Minister goes missing.
He had nervous trouble. I mean, we've all been there.
But
Harold Holt?
He did write this letter saying that if he was missing, I would be Prime Minister. So I guess.
Yeah, don't know what we're going to
Well,
do
I
about
guess
that.
if these are his last wishes, I guess we have to honor them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel a bit awkward, but I mean,
I'll do it for him. I
I'll
guess,
do it. I don't want to, of course, but I will.
Yeah.
Also,
big of you.
my first action is increasing the Prime Minister's salary.
We'll take it straight out of homicide detectives.
There's no need for him.
Honestly, this wasn't the only scandal that plagued Lay at this time of his life. He had other business dealings apart from being a politician. Like,
Racehorse.
he will get to racehorses. He absolutely will.
Oh, good call.
Love racehorses.
But at this time, he established businesses like the legal firm of Lay, Andrews & Co., as well as other businesses like Australasian Oil Fields Limited and the very suspicious-sounding SOS Prickly Pear Poisons Limited.
All right, then.
You do love to see it when someone who wants to be rich gets into politics and then opens up a bunch of businesses.
There's
You
a
love
lot
to see
There's
it.
a lot of money in poison.
It sounds really SOS there stands for Save Our Soil, as it was a product that killed the invasive prickly pear cactus.
Oh,
That was the
okay.
business that
So
he
they weren't
backed.
poisoning people; they were poisoning fruit.
No, but like if you are a murderer, it sounds super bad. But it turns out it was a super sus company, as according to the ADOB. This is what they quote. Allegations of irregularity were rife by 1927. He had convinced many fellow politicians and members of the public to buy shares for the reportedly very profitable company, despite the fact that he knew the profits were in fact phony and were actually the result of some very creative bookkeeping.
Okay.
And he was like, everyone should invest in this because he's quite a famous guy. And people are like, all right, I guess I will.
Got to kill those pears somehow, dude.
I love
get
that.
it.
I think that guy whose political opponent went missing, I think he seems trustworthy.
Well, I mean, you know his poisons work.
If anyone can poison something, it's this guy. I trust him.
I love it when people, by the way, call financial crimes creative bookkeeping. That's a great description.
It is nice.
Somebody should do an exhibition, you know? It's a creative endeavor. It's art, you know?
Should hang it in the Louvre. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, Bachelor of Arts majoring in creative bookkeeping. This didn't go unnoticed, the fact that he was sort of making up the books. And a group of businessmen concerned at Lay's reputation for dubious business dealings appointed a guy called Keith Greeder, an associate turned opponent, to investigate him. Because he screwed over a lot of people and then they came back to bite him. But you'll never believe it. As he travelled to Newcastle by boat,
No.
Keith Greeder fell overboard and mysteriously drowned.
No, you can't. You actually can't.
That's awesome.
That's not allowed.
Oh, yeah.
Whoops, Butterfingers. I mean, he just, boats are slippery.
Yeah, that's right. Someone had butted up the rail.
And
Got
then
him with
pushed
the-
him off it anyway.
Well, he was unconscious at the time, so of course he fell.
You can't stand up if you're unconscious.
Come on.
Most people fall if you bash them over the back of the head and then grab them by the feet and sort of hoist them over.
Fling him into the sea.
Oh my god.
Wow.
So, yeah, Keith was coming down to investigate him and then Keith disappeared.
Coincidence.
Exactly.
Why was he on a boat?
There's only two.
Where's coming? I don't know.
Coming down from where?
I'm not sure.
The
Maybe
sea.
he was coming coming down from up north or from England. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
But he's coming to Newcastle in Australia.
Early 20th century, it might have been more. Well, there wouldn't have really been planes, so boats wouldn't have been an unreasonable.
Yeah, I guess if
way to
you're
travel.
Train or boat. Yeah.
I'm just always like, why would I choose sea travel?
Yeah, Jess is anti-sea.
You don't want to be on a boat?
Well, you'd be hard to not assassinate. Sorry, you'd be hard to make fall off a boat. Then
That's true. But you could make me fall off nearly anything else.
don't
I
say
draw
that.
the line at boats.
Don't say that. He might be listening. We hadn't heard the end. He
Oh,
might still
God.
be alive.
Oh my god.
Still around.
And we've been teasing this guy the whole time.
Yeah, if you go back and notice that I haven't teased him once because I know what he's capable of.
Oh my god.
I don't want to mysteriously disappear off a boat.
So Keith Greeder,
That'll be so creepy to listen back to when you do inevitably disappear
my-
off a
yes.
boat.
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
and then we put that on your tombstone.
I don't want to. Don't do that. Say beloved friend.
Oh.
We put that in brackets.
Okay.
No, but people will be like re-listening to stuff and they'll hear that and be like, I just got chills.
Yeah. Oh my
That is
god.
so spooky.
He said he didn't want to disappear on a boat, and then he did.
That's crazy.
He was the last person on earth that wanted to do that.
Quick question. Jumping back to something you said a little bit ago, Jess. Why is it inevitable?
It's coming. Some things are set in stone.
I feel like just by him saying that, it kind of jinxed himself.
I think I got two
But now
possible
it's
deaths in my future. That or hit by a bus. I think
Yeah.
those are what's
Yeah.
coming for
So,
me.
and how would you feel about being hit by a bus?
I think that'll be all right.
Okay, so now if that happens, people will be like, oh, I
I don't know if I got chills.
don't have chills, but I'm at peace.
Yeah, because he knew it was coming.
And he was okay with it. He's
Yeah.
accepted it.
When I see the bus, I'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like when a
My
really
time.
old family member who's sick and
Yeah.
they're
Gets-
ready to go and they
Gets
go.
hit by a
and-
bus. Yeah.
Yeah, and
like-
you you have a bit of peace about it.
Or like when an old cat, like it's their time, and they go to walk off into the bushes. One day I'll just get up, leave my house, go stand on the road. Oh, it was his time. Burn!
He was ready.
He was waiting for that truck for 7 hours.
It's a quiet road.
So Keith Greedor has drowned out the way, but Greedor wasn't the first associate to turn against Lay. Another politician, Hyman Goldstein, who was the member for Coogee.
All right.
Yes.
So he was a politician himself. Hyman Goldstein had gone in with Lay on the prickly pear poison business.
I see.
Of course.
Like a lot of people. Sadly, you're never going to believe it. The company went bust.
What?
But you'll be very relieved to know that before it went bust, Thomas Lay managed to miraculously sell all his shares for £9,200, which is equivalent to $750,000.
This is the luckiest guy in the world.
Just
Crazy,
before
that.
it was announced that it was going to go bust, he was able to sell them all at a very big profit. You're never going to believe that.
That's crazy.
He's so lucky.
He's
What a lucky
lucky.
guy. And
Lucky
the guy
guy.
coming to investigate him fell off a boat, unrelated.
Oh my, exactly. And
His
then
political opponent disappeared, unrelated. That's
Unrelated.
amazing.
So lucky.
He's just a lucky
Such a
guy.
lucky guy, yeah. Far out.
So the member for Coogee, Hyman Goldstein, was one of many shareholders who lost their investment when the company collapsed. And subsequently, he began a campaign against Lay that, if successful, meant that all of the shareholders that Lay ripped off would probably be able to follow suit.
okay.
Right. Oh, good.
So things were not looking great for Lay. He'd ripped off a lot of people, and if one goes through, then it opens the floodgates for many, many lawsuits that will ruin him. But honestly, what are the chances of this?
Oh, my God.
You'll never believe it. But Hyman Goldstein was found dead after a fall from Coogee Cliffs.
See? Cliffs I could fall off.
Yeah.
At this
Fair
point,
enough.
actually, I don't think it's him. I think it is just luck because how's he got the time?
Yeah.
yeah, he's covering a lot of bases.
I don't think it's him doing it.
No, he's not going out on the boat to meet the guy investigating him and tipping him off the
Tipping
boat.
up, yeah. Going undercover on the boat.
Do you think though, if you were Hyman and he's like, "Hey, do you want to come up to the cliffs?" You'd be like, "Yeah, okay." You know, I think I might be like,
I'd love to. The sunset is beautiful up there.
Thank you so much.
"That's so kind of
Ah,
you."
I've been really stressed. I could really use a walk at sunset. Thank you.
I think we all, I think we would just because, all of us for our own different reasons. You think it's lovely. I think that he doesn't have enough time to kill me.
Yeah. I think my time has come. We'd all go do it. Yeah.
Well, you're inevitably going to fall off a boat, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Inevitably.
That's true.
No boats in sight.
How is this happening? That's what I said. I fell off the cliff.
No!
What? This doesn't make any sense. No!
And then you survive the cliffs.
Oh,
yeah,
that's bad.
You fall onto a boat.
Oh my god! I fall into a highway and I see a bus coming.
And you think,
Oh.
I'm ready.
I'm home. So he's gone over the Coogee Cliffs, found him at the bottom. It was ruled an accidental death after an inquest concluded he'd gone for one of his frequent early morning walks without putting on his glasses and had veered off the path and just fallen to his death. That sounds likely, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
If you're a Sydney sider listening, the Goldstein Reserve at Coogee Beach is named after Hyman, part of the beautiful Bondi to Coogee Walk.
Oh, that's nice.
Some beautiful views there, but stay away from the edge.
Yeah, wear your glasses.
Please.
Yeah,
Wear your
smart.
glasses.
But if you're keeping count, that is now 3 suspicious deaths of people associated with Thomas Lay, all critics of his, all gone or died within a decade.
It's a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Just a
Little
touch.
sauce. News.com.au writes that this wasn't the end of his lawsuit troubles, however. The prickly pear lawsuits went ahead, costing him thousands in out-of-court settlements, money he raised by selling off his properties.
Oh, I see.
Poor fella.
It is really hard to feel sorry for this guy.
So I feel so sorry having to sell off your 6th and 7th house.
Yeah, that sucks.
I only got 5 left.
Oh my god.
What are you going to leave your children?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing basically.
Now they'll only have one house each.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's despicable.
I wanted to give them a house and, of course, a beach house each. as
Of
well.
course. Well, yeah, they'd got a holiday somewhere.
Exactly. My God, now they're holidaying at home.
My
Yuck.
poor children.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry I let you down. Lay was up for re-election in 1928, and this time he lost.
Oh, okay.
A few scandals have gone on around him.
I would be scared to be the opponent that beat him.
Yeah, no one put their hand up. No, you can just have it. Just have it. So Lay decided to return to his country of birth, Old Blighty. Did he take his wife Louisa? No.
Of course not.
Did he take his mistress Maggie Brooke? Yes, he did.
Okay.
Maggie hasn't been there.
No.
Okay.
That's fair. She wants to see Buckingham Palace. Fair enough.
She wants to see the beef eaters.
Yeah.
Okay.
The crows that they got, ravens, whatever.
She wants to see him.
Another question. Had Maggie Brooke's husband also died in suspicious circumstances? Why, yes. Yes, he had.
Is that so?
It's reported that her husband was stung to death by bees.
Okay, I don't know how he could have coordinated that one.
Drop a beehive
Yeah.
on his head.
Okay.
Drop the beehive.
Like a Winnie the Pooh. Oh,
if you know someone's got an allergy.
A Woody the Pooh?
quick. I was going to say like a Winnie the Pooh died, but that's not what I meant. Because he gets a beehive stuck in his head at one point.
He
But it
doesn't
doesn't
die.
kill him.
Rest
Yeah, it
in
doesn't kill him.
And
Yeah.
he loves honey.
It's actually a win for him. But
Yeah, he's happy about it.
Actually, just quick question. These bee stings, they 9mm, 38? How big were the bee stings, actually?
They were it looked like it was a serrated bee.
Incredible.
Gone quite far in.
Literally, these bees had fingerprints
that's crazy.
that matched Thomas Lay.
That's
Strangled to death by a bunch of bees. That's what it seems like happened to him.
So he suddenly died, and very soon after that, Thomas Lay had brought the young widow over from Perth to Sydney, where he put her up in one of his apartments.
Okay, that's kind of him.
And that was the beginning of a 25-year affair, and now they'd moved together to England, leaving his wife and family behind.
Of course.
Had he changed his ways?
Yes.
Absolutely not, Jess.
Aw.
But you'll be happy about
that
this.
sucks.
He got even dodgier, including the promotion of an unrealised £1 million sweepstake for the 1931 Derby.
There's always horse racing.
So there is horse racing, absolutely.
There you go.
I love it.
He also engaged in dubious real estate dealings and was a wartime black marketeer. So he had a finger in many dodgy pies, this guy.
Like the kind of pie that's going to probably give you the squirts.
Yes.
I didn't feel good about it as I started to say it.
No, but it
needed to be said.
I think it was important.
A
to get
dodgy
out.
pie.
Yeah, no, it isn't. Yeah, because like what other kind of dodgy pie is there? It's not,
Yeah.
you know, unless it's like a fake pie or something.
Whoa. Well, that makes you think.
What sort of black market activities was he involved in?
I think it's mostly gambling type stuff.
Okay.
Betting on things where probably were there at the time. They're like, no, we're being a bit austere. Shouldn't be gambling on this kind of stuff. And he's like, let's keep it going, baby.
Let the good times roll.
Yeah, that's right. Sort of backdoor casino stuff. With his son Keith, which is one of my all-time favorite names, Lay tried to renege on a transaction that he'd made using forged and slanderous documents. Both father and son avoided jail, but they had to pay nearly £20,000 in damages.
Oh my
But
God.
that was the closest anyone had come to, putting a conviction against this guy so far.
Got his ass.
Yeah.
$20,000? I don't think he's made much more than that, has he?
How much did the poison company go for? Kind of been,
In the early 1940s, now in their 60s, Thomas and Maggie, his partner, moved to London, and somehow Thomas Lay got it into his head that his 66-year-old partner Maggie was having an affair with a 35-year-old man named John Moody, who she'd probably barely met. He just lived in the same large boarding house as the couple.
That's what they want you to
Yeah.
have.
that's how it starts.
Yeah.
Maggie.
So he's getting in early. But Thomas Lay thought they were having an affair,
Sure.
and he wanted revenge. And this is the guy that seems to only have one way of dealing with this problem.
Sitting down and talking about it.
Exactly. He's a great debater. We know
Yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Now in his 60s and out of shape, Lay knew he had to get a team together to do his dirty work. Also, he probably didn't do it himself anyway. Thomas came up with the story that the barman, John Moody, was in fact Maggie's former lover and was now blackmailing her. That's the story that he came up with to tell people.
Okay.
He used this story to recruit building foreman, a guy he met called Lawrence Smith, and, I love this, a former wrestler named John Buckingham.
Oh my God.
I guess you're just like, you're a big dude. Can you do something for me?
Yeah, I got a problem. Yeah.
I have a problem only a big dude can fix.
Yeah, I'm a big dude. So he told them that he would pay them lots of money if they were to help him kidnap the horrible blackmailer John Moody, who he said, he's blackmailing my girlfriend, his ex-lover, he's being a horrible guy, I need to make him stop, help me kidnap him. And then he said he'd get Moody to sign something saying that he was a blackmailer, and then he'd give Moody £500 to leave England forever.
Okay.
This is this concocted story he's come up with.
Sure.
£500, that's like a lot of money back then, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's good money.
I don't know if it's enough money to completely uproot one's life.
Well, yeah. I mean, if the alternative is being killed, maybe.
Suppose, yeah. Suppose it's good to come away with anything.
That's true.
Thank you so much. You're very generous. So they thought that they were helping deal with an evil man that was taking advantage of this older lady. The wrestler, John Buckingham, thought they needed one more person, and he recruited Lillian Bruce. It all seems needlessly complicated, but Lillian's role was to pose as a wealthy hostess and strike up a conversation with Moody at the hotel where he worked. She'd tell him that she needed a private bartender for a party she was throwing and that she was interested in hiring him.
Okay.
Right, okay.
It's a very complicated.
Yeah, fair enough.
So a bit of backstory, but in the end, Moody was lured to Lay's house where a rug was thrown over his head and he was tied up with a clothesline.
Oh my God.
Well, clearly the wrestling influence is coming through on this one, yeah.
Buckingham jumped on him from a 10-foot ladder, hit him with a belt.
chair or something.
They had an announcer the entire time.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's so good. Yeah, the Undertaker came in and choke slammed. So yeah, it's gone from this incredible, elaborate story, like Ocean's 11 style. Everyone's got their role to throw a rug on his head. It's terrible. So then the wrestler John Buckingham and Lillian Bruce left. They'd done their part of the job, leaving Moody tied up in a clothesline with Thomas Lay and foreman Lawrence Smith. They're the last two with Moody. Cut to.
Last two, did you say? Like ever?
Cut to November 30, 1946, when a local dog walker
Oh, no.
found John Moody's body.
Oh,
God.
Always a dog walker.
I know.
Yes.
Never walk your dog early in the morning, which you were doing this morning.
I do a couple of times a week with a group of friends. Just last week, so probably once or twice a week, I catch up with there's 5 of us and 3 dogs, and we walk at 7 a.m. At the moment, 7 a.m. is dark. And just last week, friend of the show, Michelle Brazier, said, "We're going to find a body one day. All right, let's go." As she handed out coffee, so I was like, "Oh yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Wow.
You will, yeah.
It'll be us."
Oh my goodness,
It's always joggers,
Yeah.
or people walking their dogs.
they've just launched a season of NCIS Sydney.
Yeah,
Oh
That
my God.
really?
It could be you
could be.
finding the body at the start of the episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Buckle up.
Yeah, it's
I
often
can't
dog walkers
wait.
or like a young couple looking for a secluded spot to make out.
Yeah,
and then one of them sort of slips
yeah.
down a hill a bit and they go, "It's okay, I'm good down here." What the heck is Skull? Oh my God!
Yep.
Fantastic. Love that show.
time.
So this dog walker found John Moody's body in a chalk pit or a quarry where they dig up chalk.
Okay.
Chalk pit as a baffling thing until the explanation.
Yeah.
I actually Googled it. I was like, I need to imagine what I'm looking at. You know, sort of like you see like the White Cliffs of Dover type stuff. It's like they've dug out that kind of thing in Surrey. This was 30 miles away from Thomas Lay's home. It quickly became evident that the man, Moody, had been murdered elsewhere and that he'd been dumped in the chalk pit. And it was quickly dubbed by the papers as the Chalk Pit Murder.
Oh, very creative.
It's a good name, though. It's some. Yeah, I like it.
It is
Even though
good.
technically incorrect because he wasn't murdered there.
That's
Yeah.
The Chalk
that's
Pit
true.
body dump.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
let's be serious. Were they fact-checking journalism back then?
I don't think
For
so.
God's sake.
There's no ethics
Despicable,
in it.
yeah.
Unlike now.
The autopsy revealed Moody had been badly beaten and then strangled with a rope, which is pretty awful.
Yeah, that's a rough way to go.
How was he left? Sorry. When the wrestler left, what was his condition again?
He was tied up in a clothesline with a rug over his head.
Interesting.
It's
And
weird
he was
live.
strangled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird that they had him. I don't know why they needed to beat the shit. If they were going to kill him, they got him tied up in the rug already. Why beat the shit out of him? You know?
Yeah.
Why assume your mistress is, why
Fair
not
enough.
a thing?
Okay, no, fair
Lot of
enough.
wise. Lot of wise.
Yeah.
John Buckingham, the former wrestler, saw the news of the murder in the press and he actually went to the police to tell them that Lay had paid him £200 to kidnap Moody. Mm-hmm. Buckingham said that once at Lay's house, they were met by the foreman, Lawrence Smith, and that he and Lillian had left Moody tied up with Thomas Lay and the foreman, Lawrence Smith. And then he's like, after that, I don't know what happened. But I've come forward because he told me he was just going to get him to sign a confession.
yeah.
I didn't know they'd kill him. However, the foreman, Lawrence, gave police a different story, claiming that both he and Buckingham tied up and gagged Moody before leaving the man alive with Thomas Lay. He's like, no, I wasn't there at the end. It was just Thomas and the guy in it tied up. So he said he had nothing to do with the murder and Lay had done all the violence, all the killing. Meanwhile, Thomas Lay completely denied any involvement. He was like, I've never heard of the guy. I don't know anything about it at all.
Really? I didn't expect him to do that.
Yeah, that's weird. Thought he would have fessed up, immediately.
Yeah.
He seems like a person with a guilty conscience.
Witnesses were actually able to place the foreman Lawrence Smith in the car he had rented a few days before the murder at the chalk pit where John Moody's body was found. So they saw him
Pretty damn
in the area a few days beforehand, which proved that he knew they planned to murder Moody and that they planned to dump him there. He was scouting out a dumping location. So people were like, okay, so you knew about the murder. Maybe the other guys didn't.
Yeah, you definitely did.
Former wrestler Buckingham could not be identified by any witnesses, and he agreed to testify against Smith and Lay.
Oh, boy.
If they, you don't charge me, I'll be your witness, which he was, and they were both charged with murder, Smith and Thomas Lay. The trial for the Chalk Pit murder was a worldwide media sensation. A former Australian federal politician and New South Wales Minister for Justice was on trial for a brutal and bloody murder.
Yeah, that's pretty grim.
Yeah.
That's so weird, because with the stuff with the temperance thing, I would have assumed, being Minister for Justice, he had a strong sense of justice.
Yeah.
It didn't strike me as the sort of person who would say one thing and do another.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
It is weird. It is weird.
I'm
Australia was
appalled.
shocked.
Yeah.
We were appalled,
Yeah.
absolutely.
A nation is hurting. Who can we trust?
Prosecutor Anthony Hawke was reported in the Adelaide Advertiser at the time to have said that, quote, the victim, Moody, appears to have been a perfectly harmless and decent man. But Lay got it into his head that he was engaged in an intrigue with Mrs. Brooke.
Oh.
Was his partner.
Yeah.
He accused her of carrying on with her son-in-law and another man lodging in the house. His suspicions then fixed on Moody and became an obsession. So it sounds like he was like, you're cheating on me with him. No, you're cheating on me with him. No, it's him. And he was the last one.
Yeah. I'm going to wrap him up in a carpet. Yeah.
In the end, the jury only needed to deliberate for 55 minutes before finding Lay and Smith guilty of the murder of Moody.
That was just because if it's over like half an hour, they have to feed you.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's just like,
Yes, eye on the clock, eye on the clock, eye on the
add
clock.
some
Wrap
time,
it up.
get some burritos.
Yeah, bring in the burritos.
Then
We're going to need more time.
I like how sloppy he got over time. The first one disappears mysteriously. Fell off a boat. Bee stings. And then we beat him up in a carpet. I don't know.
Well, I reckon he's getting somebody else to do all the other ones, and they're getting away with it really smoothly. And then the first time he has a crack at doing it himself, caught immediately.
It's true. An embarrassing attempt.
Yeah. I hit him, and then
So both of them found guilty, and they were both actually sentenced to death.
Whoa.
The date set for just 6 weeks later on May 8th, which doesn't give you much time to appeal back
Yeah.
then.
No.
Quick turnaround.
But I like there's a certain poetry to in his early days as the Minister of Justice or whatever, where he got that guy hanged.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
saying this, sir, and now
yeah.
he's getting hanged himself.
that
Yeah.
is nice.
It rhymes, you know?
That is nice.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, me too.
Lay's wife had reportedly flown out from Australia to attend the trial, but they'd been living apart for many, many years.
Yeah, why
so I don't know who
even
was like,
Yeah.
I want to watch the guy hang.
Yeah, I
or,
was
if,
about
or,
to say,
or
yeah.
if she's there for support, I don't know. I don't know.
True.
I'd be there to watch him hang.
Yeah, fair enough.
I can imagine myself being a very spiteful ex-wife.
Your dream role. Spiteful ex-wife.
My dream is to be a third wife.
Oh,
and
that's
then
good.
A spiteful ex-wife.
You want to be up the back in the courthouse when
Yeah.
guilty, is spread out. You can just smile. You can just give him a...
big glasses on.
Yeah.
Huge.
Or you yell at, suck shit!
Fuck you, Darren!
That'd be great to yell as he's having his last words.
Yeah. Interrupt him. Yeah.
2 doctors examined Lay and reported that he had been suffering from paranoia when he had plotted the murder, and he was declared to be officially insane.
No.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, 3 days before Lay was to hang, his sentence was commuted to life in prison, as was his accomplice, Lawrence Smith. So he was shown the mercy that he didn't show when he was innocent.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad Lawrence Smith, but I mean, Lawrence Smith still killed a guy.
Yeah. He wasn't a good dude.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
But
yeah.
I guess he thought that the dude was blackmailing someone.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem proportional, though.
No, not really.
Yeah.
No.
Thomas Lay was transferred to Broadmoor Criminal Lunatic Asylum, where he was unable to escape the metaphorical hangman for too much longer, because just 2.5 months later, he suffered a massive stroke and died at the age of 66.
Oh, wow.
good.
Yeah,
Couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke.
I kind of wish he'd served more time in prison, though.
Yeah, me too. He didn't really suffer that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is said to have been, and I love that this is like the weirdest title you could ever give someone, the wealthiest person to ever be imprisoned at Broadmoor. At the time, the Daily Mail said the police estimated his fortune at £50,000, which is £1.5 million today.
Okay.
So he'd held on to a fair chunk of change at the end there.
Yeah.
After his murder conviction and death, many of the dots began to be connected to all his opponents that seemed to have mysteriously died or disappeared.
Yeah.
And now it's widely accepted that Lay had a hand in many, if not all, of those deaths as well.
That's so funny.
But obviously he never went to trial or anything because
Yeah.
it was after his death
Yeah.
that they went, yeah, this makes sense.
Imagine
my
if it is just a bunch of coincidences, though, but now it's believed across the board that he was
Yeah,
involved.
that's right.
But the bee sting one is weird.
That is
Yeah,
It
weird.
does
that
stand
one-
out, kind of.
It is. That one just seems like, was that just...
It seems like her husband died.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Because it's hard to... Do you reckon you could kill someone with bees?
Well, that's the thing too. I was like, how do you gotta? Surely you got to be stung a lot
or,
Yeah.
to
or
die.
have a really bad
Yeah,
allergy.
exactly.
If you know someone's got a terrible
Yeah.
allergy, all you need is one bee.
But if you're not
True.
allergic,
What about if somebody's on the toilet, you open the door, throw the beehive in,
Uh-huh.
close the door, put a chair up against it, and you just let nature take its course? That might be how I'd kill
That is
someone
nature,
with bees.
yeah.
that's nature.
In the realm of attempts to assassinate someone, that
Yeah.
does seem like one of the harder ways to do it.
Yeah.
Pushing someone off a boat's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Killing someone with bees, I don't know how you'd do that.
yeah.
I'll finish off with Thomas Lay's description from the official website for the Parliament of New South Wales. So basically every politician is on there. And I know Australians don't trust them, but not many have a sentence like this in their bio. After his electoral defeat, went to England. This is all in like dot points. Promoted a £1 million sweepstake. Was a wartime black marketeer. Convicted of a murder in 1947, in brackets the chalk pit murder. Declared insane and committed to Broadmoor Criminal Lunatic Asylum, where he died. That's the end of his bio on the official New South Wales Parliament website.
What an illustrious
Wow.
career he led.
So there he is, one of the least trustworthy politicians you'll ever come across, Thomas Lay, who I was like, I think I'm going to call this episode and this was voted for by, I should say, by our Patreon supporters. I put up 3 topics.
Oh, yeah.
And this was, of course, chosen when I called it Thomas Lay ... the Minister for Murder.
Oh my God, that's good.
And
That's
I felt
really good.
so good about that, right?
That's
I thought
really
about
solid.
that because I just came across this guy and I was like, I've got to do a report on him. I wrote him down a while ago. And I was like, I didn't do that much research because, in case one of you do the topic one other time, Jess, and this didn't win, and then it wins. And I was like, great, I'll call it that. Fantastic. Started doing a bit of Googling, and I felt so proud of that. I realized that in the 70s, not 1, but 2 books were written about him called The Minister for Murder. I was like, I'm hack.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But still, I think I'll call the episode that because it sounds cool.
It's
Yeah,
great.
no,
Really
it
good.
sounds great.
I think
cool.
he had a pretty good life though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like
Disgusting
he's sort
life.
of a success story in a way.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, he was a rags to riches sort of
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
And he lied, cheated, stealed.
He stealed.
Stealed.
yeah.
Lol.
He moited.
He stealed and moited.
Yeah.
He, for at least the next little while, he will have also lived longer than any of us.
Yeah,
So
that's
Yes,
true.
damn it.
And
Yeah.
like even when he died, it wasn't, nobody got him. He was in jail for like 2 years and then he did it
No,
himself.
2 months.
2 months,
It
yeah.
was 2 months, and then it was just like really quick, a very big stroke.
Yeah.
Tell you what, the guy goes to jail like he holds parliament. Like,
Yes!
Start with a clap, end with a clap.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
Well, Adam and Jackson, now we've got the formalities out of the way. That actually brings us to most people's favorite section of the show. That is called the fact, quote, or question, which, if you're not familiar, actually has a jingle that I think sounds a little something like this.
Fact, quote, or question.
Ding.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
that's
Thank
incredible.
you.
Did I hear it again?
No.
That's okay. I understand.
Ding. I'll give you my bit.
That's that's enough. That'll tide
That's
me
what he
over.
wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you were looking at me. Can I hear that bit again? Basically, this is a part of the show where we thank the people that support the show on Patreon, and the way people do that is go to patreon.com/dogoonpod. There's a bunch of rewards, including at different levels, I should say. You can be in our Facebook group. You hear about shows before anyone else. You get discounted tickets. We do 3 bonus episodes a month. We give people shout outs. And also, the people in the Sydney Scheinberg Deluxe Memorial Package level. Rolls off the tongue. Get to submit a fact, quote, or question. Sometimes it's a brag or suggestion.
Okay.
Or a
Recipe.
recipe.
Oh,
It can be anything, really.
That's awesome.
A
Cool.
It's their
criticism.
time.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, let's not welcome criticism.
No.
I don't wish to grow.
What about a witticism?
Okay.
Okay, we'll take that.
fair enough.
And these people get to give themselves a title,
Yep.
Okay.
as well as a fact, or quote, or a question, etc. Jess, I believe you've got a few there.
Yes, I do. Fact, quotes, or questions.
Fact, quotes, or questions. And usually, so this is usually Matt's domain, I must
Yeah.
say. So we're
Okay,
fumbling it
fair
through
enough,
here.
fair
We're
enough.
trying to work our way through
You
this.
seem like you're doing awesome.
Thank you so appreciate
Oh my
it
God,
so much.
thank you.
I'm
That's
basically
okay.
doing an impression of Matt. That's what I feel like I'm doing. Like, what would Matt do?
Yeah.
Okay,
Right
so
now.
if we're doing impressions of Matt, then I'll fuck up every second word.
Yeah, go. His excuse is, and this is true of us too, we don't read them until we read them out loud. There's
Oh,
no
yeah.
proofreading
Sure.
here.
Yeah.
There's no reading beforehand. So
And perfect, because the first one is from somebody whose name Matt always butchers. So
great.
I will do that as well. So first up, from Jacoby the Angel.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah, but...
It's definitely Jacoby.
Yes.
Jacoby?
Jacoby.
Yeah.
As someone who hasn't seen the name written down,
Names are words.
100% correct.
Thank you so much.
Oh, whatever. 100% correct.
Thank you.
And Jacoby's given himself the title Director of the Do Go On movie
Whoa.
and has given us a question.
We love
okay.
a question.
Oh, it's a long one. Oh my God, it's long. Jacoby says, I'm back with another great Zambian fact. It's long again. Okay. So I apologize in advance, Matt. Well, it's Jess, and I do not forgive you. Okay. Oh, okay. Yep, here we go.
Oh my
Strap
God,
in.
Jacoby, you're abusing the system. This is so long.
It's supposed to be a question. I don't know where a question's going to come from. Let's find out. World War I didn't officially end on the 11th hour of the 11th day on the 11th month in 1918 in France, but instead 14 days later in Zambia, which at the time called Northern Rhodesia under British colonisation. The armistice was signed on the 11th of November, but was not known to German Lieutenant Colonel Paul Emil von Little-Vorbeck.
That's mad.
Lettow Vorbeck.
Made up name,
That's
may
not
I
real.
say.
Yeah, that's
I
not
don't
real.
believe that's real.
Yeah.
Well,
Come
he
on.
was the man known as the Lion of Africa.
Okay.
He had three.
There's no other lines
Dave,
in
it is
Africa.
so long. It is so long.
Sorry.
You can faff about with the others.
Like, I'm the kangaroo of Australia. I mean, come on.
I've heard the best way to skim something is to just read the first sentence of every paragraph.
Okay.
So maybe it'll make sense if you do that.
Okay, great. He had 3,000 German troops and 11,000 African troops under his command when he captured the town of Casamar on the 14th of November 1918 and was finally made aware of the armistice by telegram from the town of Kabwe, which was delayed 3 days due to celebrations.
That's great. You celebrate before passing on the message that the war is over.
This event is the official cessation of arms for the great conflagration known as World War One.
That is, you are padding for word count, Jacoby.
These can be short if you want them to. It's marked by the Shambeshi Memorial, which is a stone monolith with a plaque and a big cannon next to it. The general and his army were ordered to march 250 kilometres north to Mbabala near the Zambian-Tanzanian border. The town was then known as Abercorn and marked the border for German East Africa. We keep going. On the 25th of November 1918, von Letton-Vorbeck agreed to a formal surrender and his militia were forced to throw their weapons into the nearby Lake Chilla. This marks the official end of World War One. I feel like he said this marks the official end of World War One a few times.
He's doing his own little report,
I know.
it seems like.
Sneaking in a second episode.
Yeah.
This is great.
He also said question. There's no question. World War I surrender monument still stands in Mbabala today as a reminder. I'll finish with this great quote from an article posted by Quartz, where I found some of this info. So there's a quote in there, but no question.
And there's also a fact, which is everything else.
Yeah.
So
You got tricked into having them on as a guest. That's what's happening.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, we read long enough, we have to pay Jacoby for this material.
How much time have I got? I can do this in 10 seconds.
Yeah, in the guest list, you should put us two and then them
Yeah.
as well.
Over, yeah.
Nearly 2 million Africans were involved in World War I, yet common historical accounts and subsequent commemorations have erased their sacrifice. When the war ended, Africans were reminded that they had no power, even though some held guns for their colonial leaders. They were denied representation at the Treaty of Versailles, and Germany's colonies were divvied among the victors, with no input from the millions of Africans impacted.
Damn.
Then just says, cheers, Jacoby and Margaret.
I've just remembered, so Margaret, who Jacoby is signing off with there, is from Zambia.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And that's why we're getting a few Zambian facts.
Yeah,
That's
fair.
right.
That's cool.
So that is genuinely interesting, just quite
But
long.
it's not
Yeah.
a question. And that's where I take umbrage.
Yeah, that's where you draw the
My
line.
favourite part is that it took 3 days to pass on because they were partying.
Yeah.
That is.
Whoa.
Well, you got to enjoy it, you know?
Thank you so much, Jacoby. Our next fact quote question comes from Daniel Ryan. Daniel's given themselves the title Master is Semi-Useful Math Info.
Okay.
So maybe not in English. Probably Master in.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that was like some sort of like, computer generated name. Master is semi-useful math info.
And Daniel's given us a fact. This is a fact for Dave.
Ooh.
It's a math fact.
Ooh.
It is a useful fact, but Jess may even call it a fun fact.
Okay.
I doubt it. Background part. The relation of miles to kilometres is surprisingly close to pi. Apparently only like 9 meters off.
What?
Huh.
Pi also has a relationship to the Fibonacci sequence. This means that you can estimate miles to kilometers based on the Fibonacci numbers. 3 miles is about 5 kilometers, 5 miles is about 8 kilometers, 8 miles is about 13 kilometers, 13 miles is about 21 kilometers. And obviously, you can go backwards as well, 5k to 3 mile. Obviously, huge complex numbers are still complicated, but this is still pretty useful on a small scale. Daniel? That is not a fun fact.
I heartily disagree. I thought that was fun.
But I think that's actually useful to us because frequently we're doing a topic where it's either in kilometers or miles.
Yeah.
fair.
And
Yeah.
either way, we have to convert for ourselves or for our overseas listeners who are like, I don't know,
Yeah, what's
meters,
this?
feet, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
And
but
me. It's me going, what is that?
yeah, just you like if you hear pounds, you just switch off.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Never mind.
Pounds of what?
Yeah, I don't know.
But if we knew 3 miles is about 5k, 5 miles about 8k,
Yeah.
that would really put it into
But
perspective.
you got to know the Fibonacci numbers, right?
Yeah,
To-
so it's like
to
there's
the-
too much learning to do.
Yeah, that's like a whole other realm of numbers.
Google can do this for me.
Yeah. Or I could just take a guesstimate.
Yeah.
And get it wrong.
I was going, that sounds long.
Yeah.
In my head, it's now long. Thank you, Daniel. Next, we have Cody Bancroft. And Cody Bancroft has given themselves the title Supervisor of Laughing While Uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Cody has given us a challenge.
Whoa.
Love that. Have we had a challenge before?
That's
I
exciting.
think throwing down the gauntlet.
Love this.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, what is it?
Let's see. Hello from Washington. Love the pod and truly look forward to it every week. I've been going through the back catalogue and I am loving the fact there are so many to help me get through some of the more boring parts of my week. After hearing Matt say so many times he just reads these out without pre-reading them, I have a challenge for you three, but mostly Matt. Fucking hell. Here in Washington, we have quite a few cities that most people from out of state have a hard time pronouncing. So I figure I'd have you guys give it a shot. The list is a little long, but give it a look. Can't wait to hear you, Matt, butcher these names. It's a really long list.
Oh, what do we just pick a couple?
Okay.
Pick a few of these.
Can you see them as well, Dave?
I've just brought it up just so I can have a look.
Okay. Kamano.
That sounds right.
Cheney. That's
That
got to
sounds
be
right.
Cheney.
Yeah, sure.
Samamish.
Felida. Issaquah.
Skok.
There's no
Both
town
of you-
named Scott.
Othello.
Skok. SKOK. There's also Skokamish.
Sellers in there twice. Selah. Salah.
How do you spell it?
Selah.
It sounds like it should be Selah.
Salah.
Do you reckon this one would be Yakima or Yakima?
Yakima.
Yakima.
Yakima. No, I reckon Yakima.
I love.
Tacoma. That's
Oh.
got to be Tacoma.
Yeah,
right?
Tacoma, I believe, is actually correct. I
Yeah.
think I know that place. I love, listeners obviously aren't getting this, but I love that as both of you say them, you're looking at the two of us with such desperation.
Like, come on. Is this right? Is this
Yeah,
right?
like we could validate any of the answers you're giving.
I'm also I went for the approach of just say it confidently.
Yeah, that's smart.
I
And,
love
and by
that.
confidence, I've kind of gone aggressive.
This is probably wrong, but if it's wrong, I don't want to be right.
Yeah.
Scar Mania.
Whoa.
Get fucked. That's great.
They're
That is
constantly,
good.
constantly
Mania.
But there's
pumping
also
ska music. I love it.
Skamokawa.
Oh, that sounds great too.
Skamakoa.
That's great.
Skamakoa.
That's a fun place.
Pull Yallop.
Pull Yallop.
Pull Yallop.
Pull Yallop.
Is that a place or a command?
Pull Yallop.
What do you do if I yelled at it to you? Gun to your head, you like, what is he saying? Pull
I would
Yallop.
try
What
and
would you-
do a push-up weird.
I'm pretty confident I'd get shot.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what would
Pull
happen to
Yallop.
me.
Bang.
Oh, this is fun, but I've got no idea if we're on the money here or
I'm
not.
going to send Cody a list of Australian
yeah.
town
Yeah.
names.
Send them back.
Send them
Yeah.
back. You try. Woolloomooloo. It's silly.
Tuckwilla.
I love a challenge though.
That's a Washington one.
Feel free to send through other challenges. That's a great idea.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right.
How
Yeah.
fun.
Thanks, Cody. And finally, Lauren Joyner has given themselves the title The Queen of Overthinking. Right there with you, sister.
You can challenge for the monarchy there.
If you're a queen, I'm a princess. And Lauren has given us a question. The question is, what is your favourite / weirdest / most surprising celebrity encounter?
Oh, okay.
And when people ask us a question, we love them to answer the question themselves, and she has done that. One time in 2008, I was stopped at a crosswalk in Los Angeles, windows down, blasting Cold Chisel. I had recently discovered them. I don't think they had much of a presence in the States. A
Friend's a good word.
A dude crossing in front of me stopped for a beat and turned around to see where the music was coming from. It was Russell Crowe.
That is because he would absolutely
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Chisel.
He would-
Sure.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
So he would be like, what the
Who is
hell?
playing Cold Chisel? Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Saturday night. Russell Crowe's like, what?
He kind of nodded to himself and kept walking. I'm assuming he was surprised to hear flame trees coming out of a non-fancy car in Beverly Hills.
That is truly
incredible.
excellent. Like just nodding to himself like the way it should be and then kept walking.
And I love this as well because I have some other good ones from growing up in LA, but that one is more on theme for an Australian-based podcast.
Yeah. Beautiful.
How good's that? Any celebrity encounters?
Celebrity
Well,
encounters.
he's a pretty despicable man, so I'm not happy about it. But I did meet Ron Jeremy once, the famous porn star.
Really?
It was when I was working at Sexpo years ago.
Okay.
And I saw Ron Jeremy, and I was like, I got to get a photo with Ron Jeremy. But the thing about the photo is my camera sucked on my phone at the time, so it's really blurry, like a Bigfoot photo. And it's just me and Ron Jeremy next to each other, and he looks so sad.
Oh no.
But I have that. I think about that
Okay.
occasionally. I have a blurry photo of me and Ron Jeremy
blurry
just on my
photo.
phone.
Wow.
Bigfoot style photo of a very hairy man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
Wow.
That's probably my strangest celebrity encounter.
That's a good one.
Australian comedian Greg Fleet.
Yeah.
I was once with me and a bunch of friends, and this is, if you know me very well, you know that this is absolutely the sort of scenario I would often find myself in. I'm with a bunch of my friends, and we're talking about tanks on a tram because we are very interested in tanks.
Okay.
Yes.
Tank chat. Yeah, nice.
Tank chat. And Greg Fleet stood up as he was going to get off the tram, and he'd quite clearly, because we were not quiet, he'd quite clearly heard the conversation, and he just quickly inserted his favorite tank and why.
That is so good.
My response when I turned around and recognized him was, "You're Greg Fleet." And he got
And he's
off
like, "You're not even listening to my tank fact." Great.
He looked a little put out by it, if I'm being
It's like,
honest.
I thought we were just talking tanks.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
tank chat, not.
It was very funny. Like, he was,
that's awesome.
like, obviously what he had said, I wasn't properly paying attention to, because I was like, oh my God.
That's so funny.
I feel like you had a chance to be like, stick around. Like, if you want to talk tanks, like the tram's gonna keep going, brother. Let's chat it up.
Tank chat.
Yeah, that's
Do you have
awesome.
any, Dave?
One time I was at an airport in Scotland about 8 years ago, and I looked across the lounge as we were waiting to board, and sitting there and like asleep in an upright position, I went to my girlfriend at the time and said, "Oh my God, that's Susan Boyle." You know the singer Susan Boyle? It was her.
That's
It
awesome.
was her.
That
And she
rules.
was just sitting up asleep and sort of like, she must have been so tired, she was sort of passing out a bit. And then she, just got on the same flight as us. So if
That's
the plane had gone
crazy.
down, it would have been all Susan Boyle.
Yeah.
Would have been you and Susan Boyle taken out at the same time.
Can you believe
What
it?
a tragedy.
We usually don't travel at the same plane.
Yeah,
just in case.
that's a real big bopper. Eddie Valent. Yeah. Wow.
She was flying economy?
Amazingly, yes.
Wow.
The Susan Boyle.
Was anybody else looking at her?
No, I think that
Oh, I think you just saw a Scottish woman.
it was definitely Susan Boyle.
Do you think-
I think that the hostesses sort of like took her to her seat a bit.
Wow.
She did not look very well, I will say.
Okay,
Because
interesting.
she was sort of nodding off a bit.
Yeah.
Mid sit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it was
Wow.
very funny. Like, oh my God.
Well,
But then what do you say? Like, I don't need to say hello, Susan Boyle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
What are you
why?
gonna
Yeah.
do about it? Yeah.
Well, if she wasn't looking too well, could it be that instead of being Susan Boyle, she was just a Scottish woman,
Yeah.
and they were being because she needed a little help?
It might have
Delivered
been,
to
yeah.
their chair.
He's so sure, though. It
no,
was Susan Boyle.
I am 100% sure it was Susan Boyle. It was very funny.
Do you think, because I keep thinking you're on the same plane, say the plane crashes, it's like a desert island situation. Do you bring it up?
At that point,
But
yeah.
like, is it the kind of thing where you're like, actually, we've got to care about surviving, and like while you're collecting
Or do you, like,
coconuts, you're
try
like,
and, like,
hey,
cas-
Susan Boyle.
Casually bring it up to just be like, I also dreamed a dream of time gone by, for example. But yes, would you like me to go get us a fish or something?
I thought you were about to say when you were like, "Oh, this is about survival." I
Yeah.
thought you were about to be like, "Well, we need to check. Are you Susan Boyle? Because otherwise, we're not going to care too much
Yeah,
about
that's
you."
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. We will let you go.
You're on your own.
Honestly, if you crash on a
You will
desert
let
island,
you go is scarier than what I was thinking was when I was implying there. That sounds wild.
are you the real Susan Boyle? Because if you're not, I'm eating you. Okay.
Exactly. I'm not going to give up my rations for you if you're not famous celebrity Susan Boyle.
You'd be happy though if you were on a desert island with a celebrity, because you're like, people aren't going to come for me, but they might come and try and find Susan
Yeah,
Boyle. You know?
yeah.
Yeah, that's
true.
right. They're sending double the amount of planes
Yeah,
to
you'd be-
look for Susan Boyle.
Yeah.
Simon Cowell himself is flying his jet to find his
It's
friend Susan Boyle. His
So
big
funny as
find.
well if it's not Susan Boyle and you're just relaxing on the beach. You're like, I'm not concerned. They're coming for Susan.
They'll be here to pick up Susie any day now.
I keep telling you, I'm not Susan Boyle. Yeah, whatever.
All right, Susan.
And this is this would have been 2012 maybe.
Wow.
Okay.
So
That's a good one. I don't know if I've heard that story
she
before.
was, and
That's
that
great.
was she won. If people don't know, I don't know how big she is in America. She won Britain's Got Talent by singing this incredible version of "I Dreamed a Dream" from Les Mis, and this is probably only a few years after that. So Subo was still
Yeah.
Yeah.
big.
Tubo.
So yeah, Jess, have you had any encounters?
I can't believe I nearly forgot this. And this is a fairly recent one. It was earlier this year. I nearly hit John Cena with my car.
That's wow. That's amazing.
I
That's
didn't
awesome.
nearly hit him because I'm a very safe driver.
Sure.
But I was because he and Zac Efron filming a movie in Melbourne, and I was driving to work at the radio station on a weekend, pulling into like a cafe near work, and I'm coming up this little city street. and two people sort of stepped out, and I was like slowing down anyway because I saw them about to cross, but they weren't looking; they were looking the other way, and I was like,
Right.
fucking idiots. Gah. And then as they turned to like, they saw me and waved like, oh, sorry and thank you. I was like, that's John fucking Cena. And then I went into the cafe. I'm still a bit shocked that John Cena just walked out in front of me, and like, hey, how are you? I was like, hi, I just saw John Cena, and they were like, yeah, he was just here having a coffee, and I was like, oh my god.
Because they didn't know that they're hitting like the panic button under the desk because you sound.
She's crazy. And like, I know he was just here. He was really nice. I was like, oh my God. I Googled it and apparently he's doing a film with Zac Efron. And they're like, oh my God, I love Zac Efron. So then it was just me and the staff at this cafe getting our phones out, Googling like Zac Efron
That's
movie.
awesome.
And then I had to transition into ordering a coffee. And that was tricky to sort of be like, anyway.
We're all having fun,
I'm
but
glad
I am
we've
thirsty.
bonded, but I am late for work.
I think
I
that'd
nearly
be my.
hit-
If I bet John Cena, absolutely, that'd be my day. I don't think I could do anything.
So
Totally.
what else? You don't need to do anything else. Let's tick that day off
Yeah.
in your life.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
here you are remembering exactly that day's done.
Yeah.
I just remembered one other really quick one.
Yep.
Which was once, many years ago when I was walking in South Yarra to Channel 10 where I was working at the time. I was walking down the street and I swear to you, John Cleese walked past. And at the same time, the Google streetcar drove past. And I checked, it was in front of South Yarra Library. I checked that the Google Maps view every day for a year because I was thinking, imagine if I was on there.
Yeah.
With John
Because he's
Cleese.
a very tall,
Yeah.
very
You'd be able to
distinct
tell
looking
him,
man.
yeah.
You could tell. They never put it up, so the camera was
Oh.
sadly not on. But I looked every day to be like, I want to be on Google with John
Oh
Cleese.
my
If you go
God.
on
That's
Google
crazy.
Maps, you can go back through the years.
Oh,
So,
look at them all.
like, you could, I reckon, give it another search now. Because they sometimes go from 2020, like 2023 now. Are we in 2023?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, back to 2009. Like, you can do the
Yeah.
whole. So, I reckon it's worth checking.
Well, if you look at the old Stupid Old Studios, Broden is waving out the window.
That's so good.
That is very funny.
really
that
cute.
rules.
Did he know that the Google streetcar was
Yeah,
coming?
you would often, because their office window looked straight out onto the street, and so often, anytime people arrived, you'd see Broden because that's where he would think,
I see.
be staring
Little
out the window,
Thinking stoop.
and
yeah,
so he
fair
saw it and had time to like get into
that's
position.
great.
It's so good.
That is good.
You seen those images of the Google Street View car hitting somebody somewhere? I don't know if it's still up because people found out about it or whatever. But it's like shot of a person in front of the car, shot of the person falling down,
Oh my
shot
God.
of if you like turn it around and look, the person's tumbling behind. They full on got hit by the Google Street View car.
I can't believe they. I can't
That
believe
is wild, isn't it?
they uploaded that, but they didn't upload John Cleese.
I know. What the hell are you thinking? I mean, I am looking back at the old ones now.
Yeah. Can you see it?
Have you seen the? It's very cute. The one of
Is that you?
I thought so at first too. No, it's not. I wish that's from 2014.
That looked a bit like you.
Imagine if I saw
We still have other stuff to do in the Patreon.
Oh no, sorry. Let's continue on. That is a great question. I love that.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear other people's celebrity encounters, especially
Yeah, that's great.
stuff like that when you you see someone one time and it just sticks with you forever. They're
Yeah.
not thinking about it ever again.
Oh,
but
God,
for you,
yeah.
like it's the day you nearly ran over John Cena. You're thinking about that forever.
I
Yeah.
nearly
love it.
forgot it just now. I was like, who have I met? Who have I seen? Thank you again to Lauren, Cody, Daniel, and Jacoby. The next thing we need to do is just give some shout outs to some very special people who support us over at patreon.com/dogoonpod.
Yes, that's right. So we read out their name and
Get
then
off Google Images.
Oh God, I want to see John Cleese. Jess usually comes up with a game, like a fun nicknamey type thing we can give
yeah.
each person. We can all join in on. Do we
Yep.
have any? Often it relates to the topic, but I mean, what about he was the minister for murder? What
Oh,
are they? The
oh.
minister
Oh,
for
that's great.
It's a great
Yes,
idea.
Yep. A fake ministry.
fake ministry.
Great. Do you want me to kick it off?
Please, because I'm still on Google Maps.
Yeah, that wasn't subtle at all, mate.
oh my god!
I can see your little fingers scrolling all over the place. You're not there.
November 2016. Okay, this could be it. It drove past. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be on Google with John Cleese.
What a day.
You might be able to print that out and pretend like you know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we are, just hanging out in front of the South Yarra Library. Our faces are blurred, obviously, but you can tell it's him.
Okay, so first up, I would love to thank from, address unknown, so we can only assume deep within the fortress of the moles.
Absolutely, a mole person for sure, and we appreciate them.
Yep.
Zach Lynch, Minister for...
Mousetraps.
Oh, nice.
Whoa.
Nice.
I mean, Parliament's a big place. I'm sure they've
There's
probably
a lot of- yeah.
rodent
Yeah.
problems.
typically
course.
give that to a cat, but, you know,
No,
Cats can't be
Zach's
trusted.
got it.
Zach's got this one.
Thank you, Zach. I would also like to thank from Swindon in Great Britain, Russell Leake.
Russell Leake. Adam, any thoughts on the ministry for Russell Leake?
Obviously, it would be Ministry for State Secrets.
Okay.
It's an ironic name.
Oh, 'cause
that they've been
League,
given.
Yes, yes.
I'm Russell Leake, but I won't. Is what you could say every time. Yeah.
My name.
Yeah.
You're like,
What people at home didn't get to experience was the lean and like the wink.
I'm Russell
man.
Leake, but I won't.
Oh, the tip. The
That's
pull
good. The
down
little tip of the glasses as well
yeah.
sounds like he will. That's
That's right.
That is typically what a wink means. Yeah.
So you're really not sure about this guy.
but yeah, Leake by name, not by nature.
That is fantastic. I would also love to thank from Shelby in North Carolina.
We
I don't want to hear any facts
We don't
about
have to do a fact about it. Matt usually does a fact about North Carolina, but you don't need to know that.
need
That's
to.
where Venus flytraps are from.
I would love to thank Daniel Beaupre.
Daniel Beaupre, Minister
okay,
for...
funk.
Hell yeah!
Oh, yes.
You need one. You gotta have one.
gotta have one,
You gotta have one
That
minister
is
for
so
funk. Yeah.
good.
Fuck yeah.
I'll do a couple more, then you bring it home.
Okay, great.
Okay, great. I would also love to thank from Beckenham in Western Australia, Jackie Parsons,
Jackie Parsons.
Minister for
Munch.
For Munch.
or munching.
Okay.
Munchies.
Minister for munchies. Yeah, okay.
Jackie knows where all the good snacks are. And finally for me, I would love to thank from, location unknown.
Oh my God.
We can only assume deep within the Fortress of the Moles.
Or Scotland.
Or Scotland. I would love to thank Faline O'Banion.
Faline O'Banion.
That's an incredible
Yeah,
name.
it's really O'Banion's awesome.
Yeah.
O'Banion.
Minister for remote control cars.
Oh, an important job.
Yeah,
Like there's
absolutely.
really fast petrol powered ones. They're like genuinely just small cars.
That is a portfolio I would like to have.
Yes. Agreed. Dave, do you want to thank some people?
I would love to. This is from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Thank you so much to Hayden Straas or Hayden Straz.
Straz. Minister for Meats.
Oh, love a minister for
Wow,
meats.
Minister for meat.
If I
Yeah.
opened a butcher, that's what I'd call it.
Yeah, that's a great
I was
butcher
thinking
name.
more
It
for
is.
like charcuterie boards.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
Minister, come,
Sweet
come-
meats.
Come
that
down.
kinda-
Let's
yeah.
have a chat to the minister.
I'm changing my desired portfolio. That's the one I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
You can do 2 portfolios.
Yeah, you can have many.
They work in conjunction with the Minister for Cheese.
Oh, I love that. Thank you from North Melbourne now. It's Adam Hamato.
Oh.
Oh,
Adam Hamato.
From one Adam to another. Minister for...
Minister for my fellow Adams.
Yeah,
Minister for Adams.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to take care
That's
of them.
great.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Cop
We have
that
special
Adam
needs.
Bant. Missed out.
Yeah. Thanks for nothing. Nah, good on ya.
Oh, great. I mean, do you feel represented now? You've got a minister?
Finally,
What
yes.
are the issues facing Adams?
Well, we often get I'm sick and tired of people making Adam and Eve jokes.
Okay, fair
Hate
enough.
that.
Yeah, no,
Get
enough
him
of
out.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, get
Banned.
them
Work
banned.
closely with the Minister for Eves to sort something out. Yeah.
If you meet someone named Adam and
Yeah.
you say, where's Eve?
Yeah.
That's jail. That's a jailable offense.
That's great. I mean, I'd vote for that.
Yeah, me too,
I
yeah.
get it because I have a dog named Goose, and people always go, "Where's Maverick?" And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, my God.
Put that on the bill. Put that on the
Fuck
bill.
you.
Yeah.
That'll be included in a clause in
Yeah.
the
Thank you.
and where's law.
"Yes, thank
Can't
you."
say and where's.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's good. That's good.
I would like to thank from Hindmarsh in Western Australia, Dwayne Sprigg.
Ooh.
Good name, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Minister for Left-Handers.
Oh, nice.
Which-
Important.
Yeah,
You're either of you left-handed?
I don't
No.
think so.
Okay, but Jez...
never learned to write.
Mime holding a pencil for us. Yeah,
Right-handed.
you're right-handed, buddy.
Thanks, man. Thanks for getting me there.
I don't think so. It's such a funny answer. I just thought if Adam gets to be, looked after,
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, of course.
so should I.
I agree.
Yeah, I absolutely think you should be represented.
And the rest of the 10% of the population that can't use scissors
We're so sorry for what you go through.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
every time.
But Dwayne's there for you.
Thank
And
you, Dwayne.
finally, I would like to thank from Paisley in the greatest of Britons.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to thank... Is that Scotland outside Glasgow there? Because remember we once met a great listener, Ross. Do you remember Ross, the guy that were there It is. It is in the lowlands of Scotland, yes. Ross was from Paisley, I seem to remember. And he was the one who described every other place in England and Scotland as a shithole. What is shithole?
Yeah.
Everything else but Paisley, all good.
That's great.
And that's good news for Gary B.
Gary B.
Gary B.
Gary B.
Minister for getting it done.
Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to get it done.
Statistically speaking, someone's
But
getting it done.
saying I've got to get stuff done is usually like procrastinating.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
also like to imagine Gary just walking around Parliament just with a mug, looking busy.
Does the mug say getting it done
Yeah.
on it? Yeah.
It's very cool. So thank you to those people. Gary, Dwayne, Adam, Hayden, Feline, Jackie, Daniel, Russell, and Zach.
Big shout out. Thank you so much to our ministers. Congratulations with your portfolios.
And
Now
you
you're
would-
in cabinet.
You would think it's done, but it's not. We have one final thing we have to do, and that is to welcome some people into the Triptych Club.
Now, what happens here is these people have been on the shout out level or above for 3 straight years.
Whoa.
Never fallen off. We've already shouted out to them previously. So to enshrine them forever, we welcome them into our Hall of Fame / hangout zone / airport style lounge
Oh,
that we
yeah.
call the Triptych
Tight.
Club. And basically inside there's food, there's drinks, there's fun, there's games, there's lovely things to do and play. That should have rhymed, but it didn't. Anyway. It was like the non-rhyming opening of Play School.
Kind of panicked.
And Jess organises some food and drinks. I
Yeah.
organise a live band.
Yes.
Jess, what are we eating this week?
Poison.
Okay, nice.
Cactus star poison.
Yeah, that pickled pear.
Yeah.
But oh no, I've just got pickled pears.
Okay, that's probably better than poison. Yeah.
But 1 in 8 is poison.
I like a bit of a gamble with
Yeah,
my food.
it's like
Yeah.
Russian roulette. It's fun.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then for drink, it's lemonade
Nice.
Hell
Makes
yeah.
sense. Makes
because
sense.
we don't drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Lips
no.
that touch liquor shall never touch mine, or whatever they used to say.
Keep your lips away from my lips.
What do you mean they used to say, Jackson?
Well, sorry, we still say now.
As we all say.
Yeah, of course.
You also book a band, Dave.
Yes, you're never going to believe it.
What?
A very ironic booking because I book these months in advance. I never
okay.
know what the topic's going to be, but
Yeah.
I've actually
Yeah.
booked the French electronic duo Justice.
Oh,
my
God. What are the odds?
Bit of irony there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to be listening to their Grammy nominated albums, which would be fantastic.
Wow.
Sounds great.
Okay, well, I'll read out some
And
names.
their Grammy Award winning album.
Whoa.
Wow.
Or their Grammy Award winning remix of the MGMT song Electric Feel,
Yeah, Justice has done a few fun remixes.
which won the Grammy Award for Best Remixed Recording in brackets non-classical.
Okay.
Who is remixing classical?
That they have to specify. Yeah.
I mean, Pendulum remixed the ABC News thing.
That was so good.
is
That
good.
it
was so
actually
great.
frickin' slaps.
That was
it
so
does.
great.
It does.
It's really fun. Okay, I'll read the names.
Oh yeah, so basically Jess reads the names and then I give them a bit of a hype up.
Oh,
Usually a play
okay,
on
nice,
it,
nice.
on their
Alright.
name. If you can think of anything better, please jump in because often I go a little blank. This section can take 3
No,
hours.
you're great.
Okay.
You know what that is? That's Matt getting in your head.
Yeah, Matt gives me stick.
Oh, dude, you don't need that.
No.
Old Mister every 2 words giving you stick.
I know.
That guy, I know.
Unbelievable. Good riddance, I say.
Get rid of some bad rubbish. Yeah.
So first up, I would love to thank from Durham in Great Britain, Jamie Collins.
More like Collins.
Collins.
Let's to the theme of Call Me.
Yeah,
Oh,
very
right.
good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Collins. Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
That's-
I love these guys.
That's very
They're great.
good.
Jess usually hypes me up, but now I've got 2 hype men.
You don't need me.
Where you hype them, we'll hype you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
The
You
hype
get it.
train.
You
Yeah.
get it.
I would also have to thank from Tel Aviv,
Oh.
Fantastic.
Liad Herman.
Come on. You got this, Dave.
Sure am glad to see you.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with Liad, so I was going to say, I ain't Liading when I'm telling you that you're my favourite guy here tonight.
Okay. But unfortunately, I
Dave's killing it.
didn't. From Portland, I would love to thank Lee Schweideman.
Why demand so goddamn good?
Yes! Man, you've set me Lee tonight.
Dave!
I love this guy.
This guy's on fire.
Oh my god!
Okay, a couple more from Perth, Western Australia. I would love to welcome in Holly Bradley.
Oh, good golly, it's Holly
Yeah.
Bradley.
Whoa! Hey, it's me, your cousin, Marvin Barry. You know that new sound you've been looking for? Well, listen to this.
Good golly, it's Holly.
That's good stuff. And finally, from Aberdeen, I would love to welcome
So good.
Hannah Loveday.
I do love this day.
Yes!
I got to meet Hannah.
Oh, I'm gonna remember this day for the rest of my life.
This is maybe the best day of my life, absolutely.
We did it. Welcome in.
what-
Yes.
Can I have another go at Liad Herman? It just felt wrong. What about
Encore!
I am determined to meet Liad Herman.
Whoa! Yeah!
I'm getting a standing O. A standing O. Thank you so much. I mean, we don't get many people from Tel Aviv in this section.
No,
so I just
that's
wanted to-
cool.
I felt like I bottled it. Do you have anything for Liad Herman?
I don't think I could do better than what you just did.
Determined to meet him.
It's very
Don't
good.
determine something. There's got to be something there. Come on.
That's what Dave did.
That's what. That's what got the standing ovation.
And
You were
just
gonna get
underscored it.
You were going to get that standing ovation regardless.
Welcome in Hannah, Holly, Lee, Liad, and Jamie. Oh, and a little note as well. Jamie should have been read out a year ago. So an extra special welcome to
Yeah.
Jamie.
Jamie, let me just say, Collins. Can't remember the rest of the words, but anyway.
That was worth waiting 4 years for.
I wish I had flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so
You
much.
could throw your underwear at him if you wanted to.
That's true. It might
If
take
I
a bit.
must.
Oh, man. Okay, well, that does bring us to the end of the show
That's
then.
it. Thank you so much for coming out.
Anytime. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Now, there's plenty of fantastic Sanspants opportunities, Sanspants-based opportunities, that is, to listen to your voices on the podcast airwaves. Tell us
That
about
is
some of
true.
those.
I'm in a bunch of podcasts. I'm in a podcast called Plumbing the Death Star that's dumb as hell. I'm in a podcast called Thumb Cramps that's about video games and dumb as hell. I'm in a podcast called Baseless Speculation that's about new movies, and that's, guess what? It's dumb as hell. But they're all largely listenable.
I was recently on an episode of Baseless Speculation where we were talking about the new Kenneth Branagh Poirot
Oh,
movie.
that's true. That was a very fun episode. That was very good.
Oh,
yeah.
yes,
Great
Great
fun.
movie.
The new one?
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah. I loved it.
No, the new one, a murder of what was it called? A Murder in
In
Venice.
Venice, yeah.
Oh.
With the
wait.
one where in the book somebody
This
dies
is the
bobbing.
greatest day of my life.
Yeah, there's a third one. It's like no, not yet.
Oh.
And it's like horror themed. Somebody dies
Whoa.
bobbing for apples. It's based on, we talked about this in the episode. It's based on one of her like least popular novels written when everybody was like, she fell off.
It's called A Haunting in Venice.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know there was a third one.
Tina Fey's in it for some reason.
Get
I'm going to have a
fucked.
heart attack. This sounds like the greatest thing of all time.
Yeah.
Coming September this year based
Yeah.
on Halloween Party.
That's right.
Dave, movie date.
Oh, see you there.
I think in that episode we also talk about what actors are like period piece actors and what actors are.
Yeah.
So like Tina Fey, she's not from the past.
No.
She's
Yes,
from the
we-
now.
well, we couldn't think of any others, and then that night I sent you a photo. I said, "How about this guy, David Duchovny?"
Oh
That
yeah.
guy couldn't be in the past, and then we found a.
I think he could.
You think you could?
When?
Yeah.
Give me the era for David.
I'm thinking like he could be in a Jane Austen.
Really?
I reckon.
Duchovny.
Brush
I
his
reckon-
hair. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I reckon as well. You know, my prediction for the best period piece that David Duchovny could be in 60s.
60s.
Oh,
Duchovny does
yes.
suit 60s.
Yep.
Yeah, I think 30s and up, that's what he could do. Anything prior? Nah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I did find a photo of him being in. He's in Chaplin. That's right.
Oh,
And
yeah?
let me show you a photo of what Duchovny looks like in period. And I do not think he pulls this off. He's playing a cameraman assistant, I believe. If we go images, let's bring him up.
Computer.
That's him on the right hand side there.
Yeah, okay.
He
No.
looks ridiculous.
It doesn't work. You're right.
He's not
Is he
from
wearing
the
a-
past.
You're
Is he
right.
wearing a
He's
bundle
not
of
from-
dynamite? What is that on his chest?
Just like everyone did in the past. Yeah.
Take it around back
So
then.
that's the kind of fun stuff we can hear on Basis
Yeah, listen to
Speculation. That's good fun. And Adam,
I do all of the role-playing and sort of fantasy content for Sanspants Radio. So on the website, if you go under the Adventures tab, I'm pretty much everything there. But D&D is for nerds, specifically. We are the nerds, and it is D&D.
Yeah. Fantastic.
DN or D ampersand, both are acceptable.
Okay.
Both are acceptable. We also do a series called Beyond the Map, which is kind of like a horror anthology series that we've been having a lot of fun with, and that I would love to have y'all sometime. If you wanna come do
We'd love to do that, and we'd love to do another Do Go On campaign with you sometime.
We got it.
Both on your Sanspants Plus and on our Do Go On Patreon. We did a Do Go On campaign where we'd never played Dungeons and Dragons before, and you were our dungeon master DM. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
You're killing it.
Oh, thank you so much.
It was very, very. It was absolutely lovely.
It was loveful.
It was lovely.
Honestly, it was loveful.
That's a really nice word. I like that.
Also
we're very keen to do another
Fantastic
season.
Yeah.
I'll never forget being when I suggested something and Adam said, "Okay, we found our Jackson." And I was like,
What did
"Thank
you do?"
I tried to fuck someone.
Yeah, she was. She was.
That's fair enough.
Classic you maneuver.
I said, "Okay, so Adam, I'm gonna let me flirt with the guy."
Is he hot?
Absolute horn dog she was.
I learned the expression "looking for strange" from this guy.
Yeah,
It's funny to be horny.
it is funny.
It's funny.
That's funny. So, fantastic. Check out sansplantsradio.com for all those fantastic pods. And Jess, we've also got a website, dogoonpod.com. What can you find there?
Holy frickin' shit, we do. You can find info about the podcasts that we do, live shows. You can suggest a topic. There's a link there as well. And you can find us on social media at dogoonpod as well.
Fantastic. Well, check it out. dogoonpod.com, sansplantsradio.com. Have two tabs open at the same time. Go
Listen to
wild.
2 episodes at once.
Yeah, exactly. Left and right ears.
Bi-oral? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Thank
Bi-oral.
God. Thank
I think
God.
the kids are calling them suckos.
Oh, so good. Well, that's it. That's it for the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And until next time, I'll say thank you so much for listening and goodbye.
Laters. That's what Matt says.
See ya.
Bye.